may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I'm Doug Brown. After 7 NFL seasons and multiple injuries, Lions center Frank Ragnow announces his retirement today at age 29. Ragnow started 17 games last year, including the playoff game, missing one with a partially torn pectoral muscle. He made his 4th Pro Bowl, his 3rd in a row. The NBA Finals tip off Thursday night with the Thunder hosting the Pacers. Every game on ESPN Radio and ABC. And Scape's David Dennis Jr.
The Pacers are just going to have to rely on this helter-skelter, chaotic, fast offense that does not let the Thunder settle down defensively, and the Thunder and they can't get caught in that half-court game.
David Dennis Jr. on Best Week Ever. The Stanley Cup Final faces off Wednesday night with the Oilers hosting the Panthers. Florida captain Alexander Barkov wins his 2nd straight Selke trophy as Best Defensive Forward. The Texas Longhorns advanced to the finals of the Women's College World Series with a 2-0 win over Tennessee today.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Tuesday as the Bears open up minicamp. I'll tell you if my expectations of what I need to see from Caleb Williams this season has changed. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Regional Championship Day. Tigers and Trojans. We got a ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Well, that didn't go like we thought it would. Pretty amazing how much different you can feel over the course of a 3, or in the case of Sunday night, 4-hour baseball game. Tigers were probably the most dominant team in college baseball through the first 2 games of the regional. You had dominant performances from Anderson and Ianson. You had yet to allow a run. You blanked Little Rock 7-0. You embarrassed Dallas Baptist 12-0. The 4 seed advanced through the losers bracket. All you got to do is beat the team with the lowest RPI in the entire field, and you're off to a super regional, paired with a team coming in West Virginia who won the Clemson regional. You felt really good. You were up 3-0, and then LSU pitchers decided they didn't want to throw strikes. The hitters decided they didn't want to hit the baseball, and they'd rather play another day of the Baton Rouge Regional. So that's how it sets up right now. Here was Jay Johnson after the loss on Sunday night.
Great job by Little Rock today, winning 2 games against 2 great teams, and you got to tip your hat to them. Complete performance by them. I think the game kind of speaks for itself, where it got away from us, and we'll leave it here tonight, turn all of our focus to tomorrow, and find a way to play great.
They will need to leave it there. LSU walked a season-high 11 7 of those 11 scored. Tigers left the bases loaded in the 3rd inning and the 4th inning. Do you realize LSU out-hit Little Rock in that ball game? LSU had 11 hits. Little Rock had 8. You out-hit them. For all the, where's the offense, people? You out-hit them. You walked 11 guys. You went full Rick Vaughn. Chase Shores went full Rick Vaughn. Ball 4, ball 8, ball Vaughnez walked the bases loaded, only to have Lou Haywood come up there to club a grand slam. Or some guy named Cano, who, no one's ever heard of, who decided to be Hercules in this friggin' regional. And there he goes. Bases clearing triple, as if that wasn't, or double, if that just wasn't the most predictable outcome in that moment. If I have any gripe, it's watching Jay Johnson allow Chase Shores to walk the bases loaded and then pitch to their best hitter. Other than that, I really have no issue with how LSU handled the pitching. There's a lot of questions about should they have thrown Evans, Cowan. I think over the last month, the combo of Newt, Shores, Myers has been a really good third option. I mean, we'll watch Jay Newt against Ole Miss in the SEC tournament give you 4 really good innings. His last 2 outings give you 4 really good innings. I mean, I think ideally they would have loved for Newt to gotten them 12 outs and hand the ball to Shores, who maybe gets you another, 9 outs or so. And then if you're leading, you hand the ball to Evans, Cowan, whatever combo they're in, and you close out the game. But you gave up a lead, a 3-0 lead, and then you just never got off the mat offensively after that. Hat tip Cooper Williams. I mean, Cooper Williams gave you what you needed. He gave you 3 2/3 of shutout baseball, which gave you the opportunity to get back in it. Your offense just didn't. So some nights it's like that. And, for LSU, unfortunately, you played your worst game since the Northwestern State game, which that has to be the benchmark of futility this year, is getting run-ruled by Northwestern State on your home field. But if you remember how that game started, like Derek Curiel led off that game with a homer. And then Josh Pearson led off the 2nd inning with a homer. I mean, you looked kind of unstoppable right there, like you were just going to roll over a bad mid-major from Louisiana. The rains came. You had a 90-minute delay. You came out. You slept walk. They put up a 6 spot in the 3rd coming out of the rain delay, and you never got off the bench. Felt a lot like that 3rd inning of Sunday's ball game. So, unfortunately for LSU, it went the way it did. Now you got to play another day. The good news, or fortunately for Little Rock, is they've now made it a 1-game season for a team that came in with the lowest RPI in the entire field, a team that was 8-16 in conference, barely made their conference tournament. They come in now, and it's a 1-game season. And Chris Curry knows what last night meant for his team.
They just won the biggest game in program in history on, I keep saying it, one of the biggest stages in college baseball. I'm just along for the ride, guys. I'm just enjoying what these guys are doing. It's a blast to coach this team, and they're having a lot of fun. They're playing with no fear, no worries, no pressure, and we have been for weeks now, and it's just getting normal, and I'm so happy and could not be more thrilled to get an opportunity to keep coaching them at least one more day.
He's a guy that you'd really like to cheer for if he wasn't in the other dugout tonight. A guy who really gets it. What a stark contrast to what we saw from Tim Corbin and Kevin O'Sullivan this weekend. We'll get to that maybe a bit later. But you have to look on their side and look at Malcolm Brown, who gave him 5 1/3. Here, this soft-throwing dude, 88, an ERA of 5, and throwing the ball over the plate, just spinning little loopers right over the plate. Nobody seemed to want to hit it. It was stunning to watch. I mean, I've seen my fair share of soft-throwing mid-major arms keep LSU off balance for 5 innings in regionals. But eventually you break through. And unfortunately for LSU in this one, it just didn't happen. And that 5 1/3 actually gave them an opportunity to get a lot of guys back. As a matter of fact, Chris Curry talked about this after the game, how Monday now sets up for Little Rock's pitching.
Actually, tomorrow, I feel like that we're in a little bit better place pitching-wise, because we might get an arm or 2 or 3 back for tomorrow that we were able to rest. So, hey, championship game, all hands on deck. I've got players coming up to me right and left. Coach, I'm good. Coach, I'm ready. everybody's good to go tomorrow.
Fully expect that Jackson Wells and Jack Klein, their 1 and 2 guys, are going to be able to give them something tonight in this ball. What? I don't know. But fully expect they'll give them something in this ball game tonight. For LSU, the flip side of it is you get to hand the ball to Kason Evans and Zach Cowan, who haven't pitched in 2 weeks, and that goes one of two ways. I'm looking forward to talking to Ben McDonald about this in about an hour. Either they are really rested and ready to extend, or you're a little rusty after having not seen live action in 2 weeks. But Jay was asked the question if he considered starting those guys. He acknowledged that was a consideration, but likes where they are.
Yeah, I mean, there was. I think Jaden had pitched well over the last 2 weeks, between South Carolina and the SEC tournament against Ole Miss, and felt like he was a good option to do that. And, there was a number of ways that we looked at it, and he had a great first inning, and not a very good second inning. And so, it's all hands on deck. So he's got to recover well, and if we need him to get an out tomorrow or two, then he's got to be ready to do that.
And they may. And when Jay says all hands on deck, it's Evans and Cowan, who are you going to start with? Ware obviously hasn't thrown yet, but you can bring Shores back. You could bring Anthony Ianson back. On 2 days rest, I'm not sure what he gave. Maybe it's 15 pitches. Maybe it's an inning. Maybe it's a batter. I don't know, but you could bring Anthony Ianson back. William Schmidt's available. Rizzi would certainly be available again. Jaden Newt, as you just heard Jay say, would be available again. It's everybody. Whoever you need in any circumstance, Primo, Benj, who hadn't pitched in 2 months, if you need someone to come out and throw 97 from the right side because you think situationally against that hitter it makes sense, you could do it. It is an everybody available in this ball game. I know there's going to be a lot of questions about the offense, in particular. You're looking at Jared Jones and his struggles. He's not had 3 consecutive hitless games all year. And by the way, he got a hit last night. It was a bloop into right, so it's not that he's on a hitless streak. It's just that he's struggled since the South Carolina series. He struggled in the SEC tournament. He struggled in this regional. Against South Carolina, he was 6 of 13. He was just fine in the final weekend of the regular season. The problem for Jared Jones, in my opinion, is Ben McDonald's talked about it a ton, but he's expanding the strike zone. He's not taking his walks. In his last 14 games, so going back to the regular season series against A&M, in his last 14 games, Jared Jones has walked 5 times. 5 times in his last 14 games. That's just not enough. And when you have teams intentionally walking Derek Curiel to get to Jones, which Little Rock has done twice now in this regional, it speaks volumes. They just don't think he can hurt you. And for a guy with that ability in the 2-hole, he's got to prove them otherwise if they're going to throw him balls over the plate. So I don't know if a lot of you have opined maybe Jay changes the lineup tonight. I don't know if he will do that. Look, in the championship game back in 2023, Cade Beloso batted leadoff in that game. I think that was the first time in Beloso's career he led off, in that type of moment. So Jay's known to do things that are unorthodox and quirky, and maybe he does shake things up a little bit. I have no idea. I candidly have no idea what he's going to do. But it's a game and an opportunity to extend your season. And if you win tonight, where you're a gigantic favorite, LSU, by the way, on the run line is -5.5. LSU is -5.5 on the run line. It would be a monumental upset if LSU loses this game. But if you win, then you move on to next weekend with West Virginia coming in, and you've got Anderson Ianson queued up, ready to get you to Omaha. And that's a really good spot to be. But it's uncomfortable right now because you show up and play poorly again tonight, your season's over. See, got tons to talk about. Ronnie Rantz will be here in about 15 minutes. Ben McDonald next hour. Wes Moore, our buddy from 93.7 up in Little Rock, will join us, give us some perspective on what to expect tonight from the Trojans, what they have available. Luch will be here in hour 3. We will talk to Alden Cartwright. This is sort of our our sacrifice to the baseball gods. Of course, it was Alden Cartwright who took the ball on that Monday against Houston in 2014. Guaranteed victory. Faced 4 hitters. I think he walked 3, hit 1, didn't record an out, exited, and LSU got blasted 12-2. So this is our offering to the baseball gods, is Alden Cartwright throwing himself on at their mercy here tonight on behalf of LSU. All right, it's after further review. Our show up every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. Of course, if you're going to be at the box tonight, or if you're going to be at home watching, maybe you need to take a little edge off, or whatever you're going to be celebrating, make sure you got plenty of ice cold Bud Light, the official beer of AFR and the official beer of the Tigers. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. All right, quick break, y'all. We'll come back. We will continue a lot of the conversation today about LSU and Little Rock. It's not a one-topic day, but it's close to it, considering the baseball season could end today if LSU doesn't get going and find a way to win this ball game. So, ton to do. We'll continue here on AFR.
After further review.
You know, Darren James has more than 300 five-star Google reviews. More than 300. I mean, I've told you my personal experience working with Darren over the years. I've shared stories like Darren's got a showing and he's gone to one of his listings at 11 o'clock at night to change a light bulb because the homeowner was out of town and they had to get it prepped for a showing on a Saturday morning. Like, that's the above and beyond service that Darren James provides. That's why Darren gets so many referrals. That's why Darren gets to the closing table more. That's why Darren James is on the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1% of realtors in America every single year. Nobody does volume like Darren because Darren's the best. And, of course, he's got the Guaranteed Sale program. Sit down with Darren, agree to a price and a deadline. If he doesn't sell your home at that price by that deadline, he'll have your home bought with cash or he'll sell it for free. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Line back up the middle. That's going to get a couple of runs in. Jones scores. Here comes Dickinson.
2 RBI single for Stephen Milam. And it's 3-0 LSU.
At that moment, all felt really good. Tigers led 3-0 in the top of the first, and it would unravel in the third on LSU. The good news therein is the man who swung that bat, which is Stephen Milam, who all of a sudden has found himself a resurgence. Milam's batting average is up to .292. He was 2 for 3 in the ball game last night and on Sunday night. And Stephen Milam getting going is clearly something LSU needs. In that moment, of course, LSU had 2 outs and runners in scoring position, and Milam delivered, and he roped that baseball. I mean, in that first inning, it wasn't like LSU was knocking the cover off. Jones got on a bloop, and was it Dickinson on the misplay? I mean, you want to feel like everything's going your way, and then all of a sudden it's not. In any event, Milam's big knock there with runners in scoring position is what LSU got, but by and large, that evaded LSU. And Jay Johnson, after the game, talked about this team's inability to hit with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, I thought they executed a few good pitches at key times. And then, again, we have a saying, trying to do too much is not a plan. And so, again, I think it's probably the guys that were in those spots, something I'll go back to them and just make sure they're locked into their process and use it as a learning experience. And that's what we try to do. And I'm confident that they can do that. They've done a good job of bouncing back after a tough game, both individually and collectively this year, and gives me great confidence about what they can do tomorrow.
Yeah. If there was, there's one thing, and by and large, I think the way I have no problem with how they set up the pitching. I think it was the right decision. Newt Shores have been very good for you for the last month. If you have a problem, I would say it should have been on the front end. Like maybe you start Newt Shores in game 1, so then you would have had Anderson, Ianson in Saturday and Sunday. So in theory, then Ianson would have been pitching for you last night. That would have been the argument, not how you played it out to what you did yesterday. I mean, we've seen. I know the argument then would have been for Case and Evans, but I mean, one of the reasons they started searching over the last month for another option on Sunday is because they identified Evans was better as a reliever right now at the end of the bullpen than he was as a starter. He had a very good outing against Tennessee after a rough first and then steadied himself, but I think it's why they looked for the opportunity to move him back to the back end of the bullpen. Now, maybe he starts in this game tonight, and if he does, I hope he's awesome. I mean, he's a more talented arm than anything Little Rock's going to see. The problem with someone like Chase Shores in the ball game Sunday night is I think the home plate ump was squeezing him a bit. I think he got frustrated, tried to throw harder, and in so doing, he started missing more and couldn't find the plate, and they left him in there. So I have no problem with going Newt Shores in that game. If I had a problem with one thing, it was the offensive substitutions in the 4th inning. It felt desperate early. I know we've talked plenty about Jake Brown, but John Pearson's got 5 hits on the season, and you remove Jake Brown from the game to go lefty-righty when they brought the left-hander in, and then mid-count, Chris Curry goes and makes a pitching change and brings in a righty. Now, Pearson got on because of an error, but then you think about what you sacrifice. In the 6th inning, or I'm sorry, it was in the next half inning. It was in the top of the 5th. There was a low liner hit to right field that Josh Pearson, who would replace Brown, didn't get to. And that runner got on base. Well, that's a defensive play that Jake Brown maybe makes. It's hard to know for sure, quantify all that. It just felt desperate in the 4th inning, removing your regulars, the guys that are the guys you ride with, to start making substitutions. I know, obviously, Tanner Reeves went in at third base, replacing Braswell. And Reeves did rip a ball in the 7th down the first base line. They got doubled up. It was a beautiful defensive play by the first baseman, Cano, who all of a sudden, or Cano, whatever you say, who all of a sudden looks like an All-American. But that would have been my one complaint. It felt a little desperate going to your bench offensively in the 4th inning. Other than that, I think Jay's right. I mean, I think you just had guys that maybe lost their approach. I mean, in the 4th inning, when there's 2 outs, but Ethan Fry's at the plate and he's got a 2-0 count, that's a dream. I mean, Ben McDonald even called it. He's like, here comes the fastball, belt high. Swing out your shoes here. And he watched an 88-mile-an-hour fastball go belt high right by him. I mean, sometimes, again, I'm not putting it on Ethan Fry. I think Ethan Fry's been great this year. But that's one of those moments where in a game like this, you look to moments where you had opportunities, bases loaded third, bases loaded in the fourth, and you didn't come through. And it's unfortunate that it played out the way it did. All right, it's after further review. Again, Ronnie Rantz will be in studio here in less than 10 minutes. Ben McDonald, who's been on the call for the whole Baton Rouge Regional with Dave Neal, he'll be here next hour, as will Wess Moore from 93.7 up in Little Rock. We'll talk to Wes a little bit about Little Rock's approach tonight and how Chris Curry may manage this game, who we can expect to see on the mound and all that sort of stuff. So we'll do that coming up in the next hour as well. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com. We were swimming this weekend. My brother was over. My brother had LASIK 20 years ago. Maybe it was in high school, 25 years ago. And I was telling him, that my LASIK was about 7 years ago. I said, I wish I'd done it 10 years sooner. And I think that's a familiar refrain you hear from people who've had LASIK. It's best money I ever spent, wish I had done it sooner. And one of the common misconceptions about LASIK is LASIK wears off, but it doesn't. You see, LASIK changes the shape of your eye, so it never wears off. It's just that LASIK only addresses about 10% of your eye. So there are other parts of your eye that can continue to age, which could continue to cause you to have some issues later in life. But the great news is the Williamson Eye Center and ophthalmology has advanced so much to where you have options. Like Hester, who works with us here. He had LASIK years ago when he was playing, and recently Dr. Blake Williamson did his PRK. Hester doesn't wear glasses anymore. So no matter your age or refractive issue, there is a solution. If you want to see 20/20 for the rest of your life without wearing contacts or glasses, the Williamson Eye Center can make it happen. Just schedule that consultation, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. I mentioned in the first segment how easy it is to cheer for a guy like Chris Curry. Guy played at Mississippi State. We kind of know the path now. He played in the minors in the Cubs organization with Terrio. We learned that on Friday. And just clearly carrying himself and his squad with a ton of class and easy to cheer for. I mean, you're not cheering for him tonight, but he's an easy guy to cheer for. By contrast, there are two SEC coaches that made total fools of themselves this weekend in their respective regionals, and both are going home and good riddance. Tim Corbin and Vanderbilt were the number one national seed, and after they lost the first game, Tim Corbin was asked in the post-game press conference about his offense going quiet. And we just listen to this interaction.
Does the potential for a second game tomorrow affect your decision as to how you go about your...
I don't give a rat's ass about a second game. All I care about is Wright State. That's it.
But, Tim, what was the issue with the offense today?
No, we didn't score enough runs. Issue?
Yeah,
Human?
It was so different from the last couple weeks when...
You play playoff baseball, are you? I mean, it's tough pitching on both sides. I mean, we're pitching hard. They're pitching hard. Two good teams. You realize that, right? These are good pitchers on the mound. These are battles. We just didn't win the battle. Don't go searching for like a lot of ancillary bullshit. It's just we didn't get the hit.
Like, I hope, I don't know Tim Corbin. I've had the chance to interview him over the years a couple times, but I can't say that I know him well or personally. The question the reporter asked was completely valid. You're the number one overall seed. Your offense goes quiet. Coach, what was the issue with the offense? It's a completely appropriate question. And the answer that he gave woven in there about sometimes they're really good, they executed with, like, that's good. I mean, understand the purpose of a post-game press conference. It's for the reporters covering the game, radio, TV, print, whatever it is, to get quotes to help tell the story of the game. Part of the game is Vanderbilt's offense stunk. Coach, what was the issue with the offense? That is a completely appropriate, non-leading, open-ended question, and Tim Corbin decided to be a condescending jackass to a reporter. I don't know who that was, but the question was completely appropriate, and he owes her an apology, and I hope he did. Now, Kevin Schnall is the head coach at Coastal Carolina, and they were hosting Florida, And apparently Kevin O'Sullivan decided to be a total a-hole as well.
One last thing I have is I have to say this, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I believe in standing up for what's right, and what transpired this morning on our field. Another coach disrespected our associate AD, who works as hard as anybody in our entire program. He disrespected our field crew, who are the salt of the earth. These guys would do anything for our program. It's not okay. And this needs to be brought up. Absolutely disrespectful. As a coach, it's our job to mentor young kids. And the way he treated the 2 site reps, the way he treated our associate AD, the way he treated our field crew is absolutely unacceptable. And that's what I'm most disappointed about. This is a national champion coach who thinks he can come in here and try to bully people around. Disappointed. Disappointed, somebody that a lot of coaches look up to. For him to act that way, really disappointed. He disrespected a Hall of Fame coach who's the site rep here. That's all I got to say.
Not the proudest moments for Tim Corbin and Kevin O'Sullivan. And hopefully both men do better in their positions. 2 national championship winning coaches making complete fools of themselves this weekend for how they carried themselves. Good riddance. Enjoy the offseason, losers. It's AFR.
After further review.
Brought to you by Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions. It doesn't matter if you're looking for skilled blue-collar labor, C-level management. At Glow Resources, they go through the process based on your needs analysis, what your business needs to find the right qualified people quicker and to get you a permanent solution. I always tell you about Glow, what they are, but telling you what they aren't. They are not a temp staffing agency. They are looking for permanent solutions for you. So if you're having trouble finding the right people for that job, whatever job, doesn't matter, in whatever industry, that's what they do. They conduct some 15,000 interviews over the course of a year. They know the questions to ask to find the right and where to look to find the right people for your job. They have a 96% success rate. And in the event that they don't, they'll give you a prorated refund or they'll find another employee for you for free. It's Glow Resources. Check them out. GLO, glowresources.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values.
committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Rigorah! Joining us in the studio, Ronnie Rantz is here. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. What do you think of the hat, by the way?
Upside down?
The upside down, backwards. The backward.
Well,
is it upside down?
It is upside down.
Okay,
It's upside down and backwards.
Upside down and backwards, Rougarou, green hat. Look, we've got, I just looked in our merch closet. I think we've got 10 different kinds of hats. So please come to a Rougarou game and buy some hats so I can wean it down a little bit.
I like the patch rope hat that you have that says like BR or Baton Rouge on it. That's
it's
cool.
similar to the Bud Light. That's where I took the idea from, the Bud Light hat that Mockler puts out.
No, it's a cool hat. Was over. Rougarou starts tomorrow. You got a couple of LSU guys on the team as well. We'll talk about that in just a second. And by the way, shout out Gordon McKernan is taking care of everybody's admission tomorrow.
Free ticket night.
So we'll talk about some Rougarou ball here in a second. Tigers are on the brink. What was your biggest takeaway from Sunday night's loss?
I was just shocked at the lack of timely hitting, right? I mean, this is an offensive lineup that has been so clutch all year. One of the toughest lineups LSU's ever produced, 1 through 9, relative to the balance. And they just didn't get it done. I mean, left runners on base all day long and had plenty of opportunities. I mean, 11 hits, no errors, but yet you're only scratch out 4 runs. That was a shocker.
Yeah, I'm surprised, especially as a guy that was a pitcher, you didn't say the 11 walks, which was a season high.
Right, because LSU really overcame. I think Jay Johnson handles Meyer differently if they're in the game, right? You know, in the sense that at the end, I felt like he gave him a lot of rope and he hung himself by letting him just walk a bunch of people because he's like, we're going to play tomorrow. He's got to figure it out. I don't want to burn any more arms, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think he would have handled that differently if they would have gotten some hits early on. I mean, they had bases loaded and guys on base, and you had your dudes at the plate.
Yeah.
You had Jones up multiple times, and you just could not get the hit. And I think if they did that, they would have overcome the 11 walks. They had an opportunity to overcome the 11 walks. Sure, that's ridiculous and way too many, but they still could have won the game.
Yeah, that was a season high, 11 walks. You had the bases loaded in the third and the fourth, back-to-back innings where you came away with nothing. As a matter of fact, after the first inning, the only run you scored was when Hernandez got in the pickle. You did the double steal.
Right.
Hernandez got the pickle. You got the run home, and Hernandez was safe at second, which is wild to see that, you know, how, like.
They've done that multiple times this year. It's probably the third or fourth time they've stolen home that way.
A little wild to see the small ball, right?
I don't hate it because this team wasn't a big bopper homer team. And so I like the fact that Jay showed some diversity. It's kind of like an offensive coordinator that used to just airing it all the time. And then all of a sudden one year he realizes he had a pretty good running game, and he does that too. And I think Jay stole a little bit more than normal. Not a ton, but a little bit more. And I don't mind the small
ball. Going into tonight's ball game, who would you start?
Case and Evans.
So Cowan hasn't started this year. But he did throw 110 innings, was the Friday night guy for Wofford a year ago. Like, do you go into a day like this thinking about doing something different?
Well, I mean, I just think, who is my better pitcher? Who do I think gives me, you know, I think Evans is a better pitcher than Cowan at this point of the year. And I think he, you know, can it work out? Is he only going to go 3 innings? Is he only going to go 5 innings? But I think if I had the best chance to have a guy go 5 innings, which is your hope and dream, I think it's him.
Yeah.
That's that simple.
So Evans started 3 games this year. Maybe you could just speak to the difference of about starting and relieving. So he started against Tennessee 3 consecutive weekends: Tennessee, Texas A&M, and Arkansas. Tennessee, he went 6 innings. It was really good. Like 2 runs on 6 hits. Remember, he gave up the couple runs early and then was awesome the rest of the way. Against A&M, went 3 1/3. And then against Arkansas, went 3 2/3, allowed 4 runs on 7 hits, walked 4. And then you went back to the bullpen. So what do you think, when you hear that or see that, what do you think is going on there with Evans? This the different starting, relieving, whatever?
Well, first off, I do think Kason Evans is a major league reliever. I think he's going to be a closer setup guy in the big leagues. I think that's his future.
Okay.
So I don't think he is a starter. So it's just simply, what do you have left right now in the tank for LSU? And with Evans, I just think his stuff is so good, and he can, I think he has the ability to, will himself a little bit. I mean, the velocity ticks down a little bit. Okay, 97 is now 94. I just think his stuff is better. He can get away with more a little bit longer. And that's all it is. And what a nice combination if you go 96, 95, 97 fastball slider guy, and all of a sudden you come with the 80-mile-an-hour curveball changeup guy. I think that's a good balance.
It's a good combo to have in this ballgame. Like I would say those two, tell me if you disagree, like those two are better in combo or individually than anything Little Rock throws today.
Should be, absolutely.
Yeah.
Although I will say this, I've never seen a team ever, I don't know what they're drinking, taking, whatever, just turn it around, change it. They lose 13 to 14 during the regular season, and then now 5 of 6 in Ohio Valley, and then 3 wins here in the regional, and on the verge of pulling. If they win today, there will be a Netflix documentary about this team in about 10 months.
I would not like to see that. I would not like to see that documentary at all.
They have just raised their level of play to another level that I've never seen for a 2-week period, for a team that was as bad as they were.
It's interesting because we talked to Chris Curry, their coach. I don't know if you heard the whole story, but so they were picked preseason second in their league, and they lost 6 position players. They were just decimated by injuries, and that was when they lost 13 to 14. They got healthy just in time to get into the tournament, and now you see what they've done as when healthy. But I don't know, man. They're probably, when right, better than their record shows. But still, Ronnie, I mean, this isn't a team that should be coming into the box challenging to win this region.
And most players that get hurt when you come back, especially in the middle of the season, there's a ramp-up period. There's a dust the cobwebs off, and you haven't seen live pitching. It takes a minute. It is magnificent. And look, if this was happening to anybody else, I'd be a Little Rock fan. Their story is incredible. I love the way they're playing, the way they're battling. It's unbelievable. Yesterday was one of the greatest, and it's the greatest day of college baseball in that program's history. The 2 games that they played at the high level at which they played it with no margin for error was sensational. Now, I got to believe there's going to be a major letdown in the sense that they celebrated last night like probably it was, they won the World Series. Let's hope they did.
I hope you're right.
And then tonight, LSU can take advantage of it, settle in.
I hope you're right. I mean, they haven't won anything yet, and I'd imagine they'll come give you the best swing. And the other thing, too, is because they've now played into Monday, they're going to have their top 2 guys that started games 1 and 2 available in some capacity tonight. So,
are you going to the game?
No, I'll be at home.
So I'm glad you're not going to the game.
Okay.
Because the last time we watched a regional game together,
I was wondering if this is going to come up,
was Stony Brook.
Even if I was going to the game, I wouldn't be sitting with you.
Right. You go third base, I'll go first base.
Oh my God! Like we were. But even Stony Brook was, because we've had some people ask, and Ronnie Rantz is in studio with us. We've had some people ask about like context, like how big of an upset would this be? Like Stony Brook was an upset, but that was a good team. I think the stat was Stony Brook had more guys drafted off that team than LSU did that year. And Coastal was a 2 seed in the regional that they were in, and went on to win the national championship. Even in 2014, when LSU lost their regional to Houston in a similar situation where they were in the driver's seat, blew the save on Sunday, and got waxed on Monday, that Houston team was a 2 seed in the Baton Rouge Regional. It's a 4 seed coming in. Like this would
not only a 4 seed, but literally 64th 4 seed in that power ranking structure. And LSU, I was joking yesterday before the game that LSU was going to send one of those edible arrangements or something to J.R. Teagues, the chair of the selection committee, this athletic director at LSU. I mean, at Southeastern, because he gave them literally on paper the easiest path to Omaha, easier than Vanderbilt, who was the number 1 seed, and LSU was a 6th seed. Vanderbilt gets Wright State 26-4 Horizon champion. LSU gets a below 500 8th place team in the Ohio Valley Conference. So thank you, J.R. Teagues. So, and that's why the LSU was -4. I believe they were -440 to win the regional.
Yeah.
Nobody else was more than -260 to win a regional a week ago.
Yeah, man. Helps with J.R. Teagues' son on staff as well.
Absolutely.
Maybe a little.
For sure.
I was
there
talking
should be.
to some folks in Fayetteville that were not happy because they thought Little Rock was going to be the 4 seed in Fayetteville.
Right.
And so when.
Be careful what you wish.
Yeah, right. No doubt. Ronnie Rantz is with us, of course, former Tiger pitcher, won a couple of national championships in 91 and 93 with Skip Bertman, and now is also the owner of the Baton Rouge Rougarou. That's why we've coined him Rougaron. It was Terrio who trademarked old Rougaron. Tomorrow's the day, man. Opening day for the Rougarou. Good event today out at the LSU Alumni Center there at Lod Cook. What are people going to see tomorrow, man?
Yeah, it's we're in the Texas Collegiate League. People ask all the time, what is the Rougarou? And I say we are like a minor league baseball, but instead of paying players, we house them and feed them and travel them, right? They're college players from all over the country, literally from junior college, Division II, Division I, all over America, a lot of, obviously, Louisiana-based kids. So we're excited about the season. It's our 4th year that I've owned the team. Casey McKenzie's our GM, does a great job. And, it's a passion play for both of us. And we're ready to go. Open at 48 games. We're going to start and play between June 3rd and July 27th. Our rivals, of course, are the Acadiana Cane Cutters out of Lafayette, Lake Charles Gumbo Gators out of Lake Charles. And hopefully we get that championship and we're raising money for rings in the fall. That would be fun.
Man. Barry Manuel's the coach at in Lake Charles, right? Former big leaguer as well. So you got some real talent. There's a couple of Tigers, Blaze Priester and who am I missing? Dylan Thompson. That's right. The right-handed pitcher, Dylan Thompson. So a couple of Tigers.
And former Tiger, Zeb Ruddle, is now at Louisiana Tech. He's back again this year.
So another way to describe for those, it's like when LSU players might go to the Cape or some of their summer wooden bat league, that's what this is. It's a summer wooden bat league. It's just the home team is here in Baton Rouge, so you got players from all over the country that'll come play their summer ball in Baton Rouge at Pete Goolsby Field. So if you're not familiar, Goolsby's right next to Memorial Stadium, like at the Governor's Mansion turn. You take the Fuqua Street exit. It's right there. And they've done a lot of upgrades. Ronnie, I played in some leagues at Goolsby when I was 13, 14, 15. Dog, like the fence was falling down.
Right.
I mean, it looked like it
was
looked
a bad
like
deal in the
it looked like
80s and 90s.
Yeah, I mean, this would have been 90s. I mean, it looked like it hadn't been touched in 40 years, right? Y'all done a great job of like refurbishing Goolsby. It looks pretty good.
Well, credit L.J. Dupuy in 1999. He started it. That's when they had the Baton Rouge Marlins and the River Bats. Those 2 years they played independent baseball. And he really was the guy who got the thing going in the right direction. First, he was a coach at Baton Rouge Community College for years. And then, we've tried to do what we can, man. We've pressure washed it, painted it. We've wrapped it in banners and all kind of stuff and bunting, and we've upgraded the sound system. I mean, you're really going to enjoy the experience, and we appreciate all the partners, right? You mentioned Gordon and Todd Graves with Raising Canes has been with us since day one. We couldn't do without Visit Baton Rouge and all the folks.
Yeah, man. Any other? I know we saw Charles Harvey today at the event.
Yeah, Southern Regional Medical Center. Your boy Brandon Holly, Relief Windows. Guy, he's one of our host families.
Yeah,
the guy houses players, man.
Well, it's great because they have their. Well, I don't know. I guess I could say because they have a place in St. Francisville with it's like a beautiful lake house sort of thing, right? I mean, it's
just lake house.
It's just like a no, but I'm talking where the players stay. It's like
it's a separate, I guess, little mini lake house.
It's like a loft over.
Right,
which I mean, good for those players. I mean, great spot to stay for the summer, right?
Have you seen his grass out there?
Brandon
Holly's grass.
Yeah.
Like you would think he's obviously one of the best window guys in the country, but like you'd think he'd have a landscape company. His grass is so perfect.
It's amazing.
And he literally is like, hey guys, you can have whatever you want, do whatever you want, swim, whatever. Just don't park on the grass. like that. I told the guys, I said, look, if you park on Brandon Holly's grass, you're off the team.
Shout out, man. Our Relief Windows is off. We love Brandon. Of course, they're our title sponsor on Mondays. We've got a great partnership. So so the Rougarou season starts tomorrow, Tuesday. At Goolsby, what time's first pitch?
7 o'clock first pitch. Gates open at 6 o'clock. You don't even have to bring your wallet to get in. You just got to bring your wallet to get those Tremonti's hamburgers.
Yeah, so Gordon McKernan is sponsoring tomorrow's game, so it's free admission. He's picking up the tickets for everybody. So free admission for everybody to go to the opening night over at Goolsby, 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
We'll have Lathan, the kid umpire, be working one of the bases, and we got the Cajun chef, Cajun Ninja, going to be out there with the Payao seasoning. It's going to be a lot of fun.
fireworks on Fridays.
Yeah,
Ruger-Ron is back to push some Texas Collegiate. Let's go, baby. The Ruger-Roo back. All right, man. Good to have you. Thanks for popping in.
Thank you. Appreciate
All right,
it,
man.
man.
Be well. That's Ronnie Rantz. It's AFR. We'll wrap up hour number 1 next.
AFR.
Love telling you about River City's 1 hour air. I actually had a coworker who, on Friday, we were having this conversation. AC went out, called another company, and couldn't come out over the weekend. So they were in the heat for the weekend until that company could come out on a Monday. The reason I always tell you to call River City's 1 hour air. Nights, holidays, weekends, doesn't matter. They will always come out, and they'll never charge you extra to come out nights, holidays, and weekends. Just their commitment. When it's 100 degrees in Louisiana in the summer and your AC goes out, that stinks, and nobody wants that reality. So what do? You call River City's 1 hour air, 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or look them up online at one-hourbr.com. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side, more than double the amount of 5-star Google reviews of the next closest competitor because they're the best. It's River City's 1 hour air, 752-0001.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Wrapping up hour number 1. Glad you're with us. I do want to get to a Saints story after the top of the hour because the Saints are hosting a free agent defensive lineman today that I do think is relevant, so we'll get to that. But then Ben McDonald's here in about 20 minutes from right now, and we'll head to Little Rock. Wess Moore does a great job, covers all things Arkansas sports, but he knows a lot about UAL, about Little Rock, Arkansas Little Rock. He's the one actually who connected us last week with Chris Curry. So we'll talk to Wess coming up next hour, get the perspective from Little Rock before tonight's ball game. Thanks again to Ronnie for hanging out with us here. We did mention that with the Rougarou, Blaze Priester and Dylan Thompson, a couple of LSU Tigers are both playing with the Rougarou this summer. Both Priester and Thompson are in the transfer portal. So there are now 4 LSU Tigers that have entered. We have this news up at LouisianaSports.net if you want to go read about it. But Priester from Live Oak, who started his career at LSU in 22. He redshirted, played 2 years at Meridian Community College, came back to LSU this year. He's only appeared in 13 games, 7 at-bats. Priester's back in the portal, as is Dylan Thompson. As we mentioned, Dylan Thompson, the right-handed pitcher, is also pitching for the Rougarou this summer, but he's entered the portal. And 2 other players have entered the portal as well. Ryan Costello and David Hogg have both entered the portal. A couple of freshmen. Costello was one of the top. He was the top player in New Jersey. Came in this year as a freshman. Then David Hogg, who's from Texas. Both of those freshmen are leaving LSU after just one season. So that's 4 players from LSU that we know of that have already entered the transfer portal, and there will be more. Undeniably, there will be more, and probably some significant ones. But as we get to and through the season, we'll talk more about that with this portal window being open, and we'll hammer all that out. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Evermore. Drink Evermore. Obviously, great, healthier alternative. I always encourage you, purge tap water out of your life. And if you do drink tap water, at least put it through a filter. But Evermore is an awesome option. Natural, artesian water. The well is right there on the North Shore of Lake Pontchartrain. They're in Covington. National distribution. Great, healthier option. Better hydration. It's Evermore. EVAMOR, Evermore.com. Okay, hour 2 coming up after Sports Center.
AFR.
As we put a button here in hour number 1, remind you about Parish Restoration. You know, go to parishrestoration.com. Parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. It's the patented non-toxic dry fog. If you want to learn more about the dry fog, you can go to the website, parishrestoration.com, to learn more. It's kind of self-explanatory, whereas normally with a fogging system, it's wet, right? So you leave moisture and residue. This is a dry fog. So you're not going to be pulling up carpet. You're not cutting sheetrock. If you have mold, think you might, they'll come in, they'll spray, clean. You can see videos of the whole process at the website, how it works exactly. But we're not just talking about mold. Mold, other harmful pathogens that, viruses, bacteria that cause odor. So if you have pet or smoke odor, sweat odor, you want to get rid of it, Parish Restoration can come spray, knock that out, boom. parishrestoration.com. Online, parishrestoration.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Detroit Lions center Frank Ragnow announces his retirement today. Ragnow is 29 years old. He played for 7 years, all of them with the Lions. He dealt with multiple injuries during his career. The Pacers and the Thunder getting ready for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Pacers coach Rick Carlisle.
The stage is different. It feels different. But we've got to normalize things as much as possible. We've got to lean into the things that have helped make us successful, which is hard, fast, unselfish, solid play.
Rick Carlisle, Pacers forward Jarris Walker will miss at least the first 2 games of the finals with a right ankle injury. Game 1 in Oklahoma City Thursday night on ESPN Radio and ABC. Austin Ainge is the new president of basketball ops for the Utah Jazz. He'll join his father, Jazz CEO Danny. Austin worked for the Celtics for 17 years, the last 6 as assistant GM. The Kansas City Royals call up outfielder Jack Caglione. He was the 6th overall pick in last year's draft.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Tuesday as the Bears open up minicamp. I'll tell you if my expectations of what I need to see from Caleb Williams this season has changed. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right. Woo!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Ben McDonald in 15 minutes from right now. We will head to Little Rock, talk to our buddy Wess more about this Arkansas Little Rock team, kind of what their approach is on this. I mean, look, it's all hands on deck. We know that. But who might they throw? What's sort of the outlook from that perspective going into tonight's ballgame? David Dellucci in 1 hour. We're also Alden Cartwright in hour number 3. This is our sacrifice, our offering to the baseball gods. It was, of course, in 2014 when a young Alden Cartwright made a guarantee that LSU would win the regional championship against Houston. Cartwright got the ball. He faced 4 hitters. He plunked a guy, walked 3, and LSU lost 12-2. So this is our opportunity to throw ourselves at the feet, at the mercy of the baseball gods. We are offering Alden Cartwright to the baseball gods as a peace offering, so that Jared Jones doesn't need hats full bats. We don't need to go get a live chicken sacrifice. go out there and play and beat a bad team. That's what we do. Cartwright. Todd Peterson.
Ted Peterson.
Ellen Moore.
Ellen Moore.
Justice Williams. No, we got rid of that one?
We got rid of that one. We made the the combined decision. It was just too much. That's what we said.
There is no combined decisions, Muse, because this is a radiotatorship, not a radioocracy.
All right, then. You made the decision to get rid of the Justice Strong.
Got it. What else do we have?
DeJounte Murray.
Murray, present.
Mason Taylor.
Mason Taylor!
Okay. That's it?
Our league.
In our league.
Oh, our league. What else we got over there? This is fun.
I think that actually might be all like our said, say it and we do the drop.
Okay. Rhode Island.
Deleted that one. Sorry.
Use.
Yeah.
Failure.
Sorry.
Failure. You look at the calendar, June 2nd. When we talk NFL, a lot of times we talk in terms of post-June 1 designations. I will way oversimplify this, but contractually, a lot of times for teams to move on from a player, they get cap relief when they do so in a post-June 1 designation. That is to surpass the start of the league year so as not to be able to get out from under that contract before the league year starts. If you sign a bad deal, you're going to bear the weight of that. So, for example, the Saints trying to get within cap compliance, players that had a post-June 1 designation where the cap number dropped, you have to wait until June 1st to move on from those players that didn't give you cap relief early. I don't know if that made sense. I way oversimplified it. Just suffice to say, this is a time in the calendar when a lot of players become free agents, those that were post-June 1 designations. And among them is defensive lineman Jonathan Bullard. And according to Mike Garafolo, the New Orleans Saints hosted Jonathan Bullard on a visit here Monday in New Orleans. Garafolo notes he was the starter the past 3 seasons with the Vikings, and Bullard has a history with Brandon Staley. The two were together in 2017 and 2018 with the Chicago Bears. So this is an interesting one as the Saints continue to try to remake a defense which was among the worst in the NFL a season ago in every major statistical category. And I'm not going to tell you that Jonathan Bullard at 31 years old, that's the missing link. That's what's going to get New Orleans back to being a real dominant defense. But what I can tell you about Bullard is there's a lot of things here that make sense. And most notably, it's what the Saints have started to do on the defensive line since Brandon Staley has come in. And in part, a big part of it is remaking physically your defensive line. Remember, New Orleans went out and traded with New England to bring Devon Gottschall to New Orleans. Gottschall, 6'3", 330. The Saints went and drafted Texas defensive tackle Vernon Broughton, 6'4", 305. Played for Texas, now Saints defensive line coach, Bo Davis. Now you're looking at Jonathan Bullard, 6'3", 291. Versatile guy that can be big on the inside or athletic on the outside. It is a shift from what the former defensive staff wanted on the interior. For example, Colin Saunders, 6', 324. Short, stockier guy. This is a change just in structure of how you want to build your defensive line. And in bringing in a guy like Bullard, he hasn't signed yet, but in bringing in a guy like Bullard, it's another illustration of what Brandon Staley wants from the interior of his defensive line. Now, I mentioned that Staley and Bullard were together in 2017 and 2018. Well, Staley was the outside linebackers coach for the Bears, and during that time, Jay Rogers was the defensive line coach. Jay Rogers, who is now coaching with the New Orleans Saints as well, so as the edge coach. So whether Bullard would work with the edges or on the interior, I don't know, but it's very clear, just like, I mean, if you want maybe a comp, I mean, Sean Payton has made the Denver Broncos like New Orleans Saints West, with all the guys from New Orleans in his past that he's brought with him to Denver, coaching staff and on the roster. So you look for guys that fit the size, mold, knowledge, ability of what you want to run, and you bring them with you because there's familiarity with it all. It can help with the transition, but it's also players that you know and know can execute what you want. So if Staley's looking at Bullard and bringing him in going, I had that guy for 2 years in Chicago. He knows defensively what I'm trying to accomplish. I want that guy. And at 31 years old, if you can bring him in and do so affordably, I say you absolutely do it. Because keep in mind, Bullard is a free agent. He's a year ago signed a 1-year deal with Minnesota. So remember, there's two things we always talk about contractually or financially when it comes to acquiring a player. One is, do you have to give up assets to get the player? And two, what's it going to cost? So this isn't a situation where you're trading. Bullard a year ago signed a 1-year deal with Minnesota in 2024. That deal's expired. He's an unrestricted free agent. He can sign with any team, anywhere. So that's number one. You don't have to trade for him. You don't have to give up an asset to get him. He's a free agent. Number two, what would it cost? Well, last year in 2024, Bullard signed a 1-year, $2.25 million deal with Minnesota. For a veteran player that has been a starter the past couple of seasons in Minnesota, by the way, to get a starting caliber player, a veteran player at 31 that knows your defensive coordinator scheme, the defensive coordinator clearly likes him, interested in bringing him in. You don't have to trade for him, so you have to give up an asset to get him, and you can get him for roughly $2.25 million if you sign him the same deal they got a year ago. Check. Bring him in, let him try to earn a roster spot. Maybe, and I don't know what the guaranteed money would be on that deal, but maybe he doesn't make the team, and you get him a relatively minimal signing bonus, whatever it is, and so he comes and tries to make the roster, but there would be no guarantee because right now that's actually a pretty crowded room. The Saints on their roster have 16 defensive linemen. 7 of those 16 are listed as defensive tackles. So you've got a crowded room, but this is clearly a veteran player that your defensive coordinator likes, and if you can get him affordably, why wouldn't you do it in this situation as you continue to try to rebuild a defense, in particular a defensive line that at one point was a strength of the defense, but now it was a weakness. I mean, you were 31st in the NFL in rush defense a season ago. If you can get a guy that helps further fortify your rush defense, that's going to make you better. Because I will continue to contend that when the New Orleans Saints continued to finish top 10 in the NFL in total defense under Dennis Allen, the linchpin, the center of that, was that stretch of nearly 60 games when New Orleans did not allow a 100-yard rusher. They were exceptional at the point of attack in limiting teams from running the football. Last year, it's no coincidence. Saints were at the bottom of the NFL in total defense. They were 31st in the NFL in rush defense. Puts too much pressure on the back end of your defense, and especially where you had an injured Paulson Adebo, you traded Marshawn Lattimore, you didn't have your safeties like Jordan Howden step up like you'd hope they would. You had Will Harris there as a free agent, but I don't think anybody's looking at Will Harris as like a Pro Bowl caliber player. So build inside out. They continue to invest in the offensive line in the draft, continue to invest in the trenches. You build inside out. It's what they'd be doing here. So for all the reasons, I like it if, in fact, they can get a deal done. But Jonathan Bullard, former Florida Gator, spent the past few years in Minnesota, in New Orleans on Monday for a visit with the Saints, see if they can get a deal done. But you know how it often goes. If you want to sign the player, you don't let him leave without signing the contract. So we should know sooner than later. Oh, by the way, the one other thing is how you have the roster spots. Well, because of the post-June 1, this is when both Derek Carr and Ryan Ramchik's retirement will be processed. So when those two retirements are formally processed, that would free up 2 roster spots, which you could then fill. That's why you'd have a roster spot available for someone like Bullard, and then another, clearly, that they would add to get back to 90 before you head into your into training camp. All right, it's after further review. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows door siding, they do shutters as well. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Let me knock out a quick break. Come back. Ben McDonald is here next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance, Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Watermark, voted by you the best hotel and the best of 225 awards, Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. If you have never been inside the Watermark, what are you waiting on as we're getting toward football season? Start thinking about this, right? Football season's almost here. So if you have family or friends coming in town, or maybe you listen or watch from somewhere around the country, and you're going to be making your way to Baton Rouge for a game this fall or games, book your stay now. Downtown at the Watermark, Southtown at the Renaissance. Watermark, just north of LSU's campus in downtown Baton Rouge. But remember, the Renaissance, right there on Bluebonnet, the Renaissance is where LSU stays the Friday night before every home game. So you could stay this football season where the Tigers stay, conveniently right there on Bluebonnet near I-10 across from the Mall of Louisiana and Perkins Row. It's the Watermark downtown, the Renaissance Southtown. Watermark and Renaissance Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Great job by Little Rock today, winning 2 games against 2 great teams, and you got to tip your hat to them. Complete performance by them. I think the game kind of speaks for itself, where it got away from us, and we'll leave it here tonight, turn all of our focus to tomorrow, and find a way to play great.
A guy who's been on the call for all of the games of the Baton Rouge Regional, Ben McDonald, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes. Ben, we always appreciate you, man. Thanks for the time. How are you?
My pleasure. Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Just kind of. When you said all, you meant all of them. Yeah, we I don't think I don't think I've gotten in bed before 2 a.m. The last 3 nights. I mean, it's been all of them is right.
Man, and the 8 o'clock first pitch, I get everything revolves around TV, but it does make it complex. We'll say that.
Man, I was praying for 6. I just wanted that 6 o'clock window just once. I was like, give me 6 one time where I can be in bed by maybe midnight, but that's not going to happen. So we're going to have another late one at the box. But I'm looking forward to it, man. It's been a very interesting year in college baseball. It just keeps getting more and more interesting as we go through this thing.
Ben, we've watched LSU play Little Rock twice now. You've gotten to see them in all 4 games they played. What's been your biggest thesis takeaway from this Little Rock team?
Just their resiliency. I mean, to go play 2 games yesterday and beat 2 really good teams in DBU at LSU. We talked about them playing with house money, and you know how it is. When there's not any pressure to win, sometimes you just relax and you play your best baseball. And again, everybody knows the storyline pretty much, I would think. I mean, they lost 13 of their final 14 regular season games. They just snuck into the OVC tournament and somehow won 5 games in 4 days. Nobody saw it coming, and all of a sudden they come to a regional, and here they are in the regional finals. Only their second ever appearance in a regional in school history, first wins in school history. Obviously, first time they'll be in a regional final in school history, And so I give head coach Chris Curry a lot of credit for rallying his troops and getting going. It's a really good team. It really is. It's a team that's playing well, and we know about baseball. Baseball is separated from any other of our major sports out there. When you get hot, you can make these kind of runs. We've seen it with Ole Miss a few years ago, although Ole Miss probably had a little more talent than what Little Rock has. And they go all the way to the College World Series. Ole Miss did and win it, one of the last 4 in the tournament, 4 in the teams in the tournament. So, yeah, look, it's been mad, but look, I mean, let's start preseason number 1, Texas A&M, everybody's number 1 team, preseason Virginia, preseason number 2 when the season began. Neither one of those teams even get into the NCAA tournament, which is crazy for me. That's how the year began and the playoffs began, and now you got so many upsets across the college baseball spectrum. Vandy goes down, Texas goes down, Georgia, Clemson, Oregon, 5 top 16 national seeds are bounced, man. I mean, nobody saw that coming. And so, hey, it's where we are, but I think LSU is talented enough. I think Jay's will hit the reset button. They won't have any scar tissue. I look for a big win tonight, and West Virginia will come to Baton Rouge next weekend. I think LSU wins 2 out of 3 there, and LSU ends up in Omaha again. That's my prediction.
Ben, for the pitchers tonight, obviously you're someone who's pitched at every level and in tournament ball, but the guys that got to have a quick turnaround and maybe play a different role, what are some of the challenges you face there?
I think stuff, because, if you're a power pitcher like I was, the stuff's not the same when you throw back-to-back. And, look, some of these kids for Little Rock, and that's the danger with them, will be throwing potentially 3 days in a row, maybe 4 days in a row, throwing a lot of pitches, a lot of innings. It's that time of the year where you have to do what you got to do, to try to advance. And so that's going to be a challenge. The thing about Little Rock, they haven't not been intimidated by LSU and their crowd and, 11 or 12,000. They just gone out and played ball. I don't think that's going to be an intimidation factor for them. They played too many games. But I think because they played an extra game than what LSU did, their pitching's not quite as deep. It's not quite as fresh. LSU certainly has the advantage. I don't know who LSU's going to pitch. It's probably going to be Cowan or Evans would be my bet. I mean, you're going to see both of them. There's no doubt about that. I don't know which one's going to start. And I texted Chris Curry from Little Rock a while ago. I was like, man, who y'all starting? He goes, man, I don't know. We're having a team meet to try to figure it out. They're going to have to piece it together again tonight. So we'll see what happens.
Ben McDonald, I guess, who would you start if you were LSU?
Well, I mean, obviously Evans started off the year as a closer. Then he went to the weekend rotation role, so he's probably comfortable doing both. Cowan, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's got 20 appearances, no starts this year. Having said that, he was a starter last year, right? I mean, for Wofford, I think he had 17 starts last year. That's all he did at Wofford. So he would probably be comfortable. It would be his first start of the year, but he's a veteran guy that's been around a little bit, and so I think he would do well. Both those guys obviously can give you some length, and I think that's probably the game plan. No matter who starts, you try to get 3 out of your starter, 3 or 4, then maybe another 3 out of either Evans or Cowan, whoever is the guy behind the starter. And that kind of gets you into the 7th inning, and then you kind of just figure it out from there, depending on what the score is and who you have available in the bullpen tonight. But I do like LSU chances. Both of those guys have thrown the ball really well this year.
Evans and Cowan are both so different just with their ability and how they pitch. Is there and so obviously there's a contrast if they go in order, Ben, if it's Cowan, Evans, Evans, Cowan. Like, which do you think is a better way to start, the sort of overpowering guy or the more crafty guy, or does it matter?
I don't think it matters. I think whoever you feel like is most comfortable going out there in a regional final in a Game 7 in front of 11,000 people to be able to go out there and stack up a 0 in the first inning. I think whatever you think that slow heartbeat is, the guy that gives you the best chance of stacking a few zeros and giving your offense a chance to get out of early in this one, I think that's who you run out there, And again, Cowan's a little bit older. He's got a little bit more experience. He's a junior. Obviously, Evans is a freshman. So I wouldn't be shocked if it was Cowan just from an experience standpoint.
Ben McDonald's with us for a couple more minutes. Of course, he and Dave Neal will be on the call tonight for ESPN 2 is the television broadcast tonight, 8 o'clock for LSU and Little Rock. Ben, one of the things you've mentioned on all the broadcasts with Jared Jones is him continuing to expand the zone. Just to underscore that, in his last 14 games, I went and looked this up, last 14 games, he's walked just 5 times in 14 games. How do you fix that?
That's tough. That's a tough one. I mean, Jared Jones struggled at times as a freshman. We remember, although he was a freshman All-American, he got out to a great start. Remembering that SEC play came along. He was kind of outmatched his freshman year, and he didn't get much playing time. He really corrected a lot of things, in my opinion, last year. Forget the homers. 28 of those. I just felt like his swing decisions, not chasing, not expanding, were really good. Took some growth. And look, the first, 30 games this year, I think he was the same guy. But for whatever reason, something's gotten in his head. And I said this the other day, he's kind of in between, Matty, for me right now. Like, he's late on the fastball, and the fastball's going down the right field line, but he's out in front of the all-speed pitches right now. So he's kind of caught in between, which is a bad place to be for a hitter. And on top of that, he's expanding the zone from time to time. So for him, I think you just keep pumping him up, you keep working with him, you keep trying to get him focused and locked in on his understanding of the strike zone and attacking balls over the white part of the plate. I think that's all you can do right now. Now, there's been some talk whether you drop him in the batting order a little bit. I think that's a possibility. That could happen, and maybe you run out, a couple of more guys up top. And good to see Curiel get going, by the way. We know he was slowed, going into this thing a little bit, and he's really having a good regional. Dixon's been good. But I wouldn't be shocked if Jay kind of drops Jared Jones maybe down a few spots in the order today. Just to kind of let him relax a little bit, let him sit back there. Maybe he sees a few more fastballs back there. So be interesting to see. But he's in a tough spot right now. There's no doubt he's struggling. But look, he's a tough kid. And he's going to come up with a big swing. I feel like there's a big swing in there for him tonight. And
do you worry about psychology or optics of moving a player like Jones out of the 2-hole?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. But I think if you approach him with the idea, hey, man, listen, we're going to push you back a little bit to where you're going to see maybe a few more fastballs. This is going to be better for you, and you approach it that way versus thinking of it as a demotion. Hey, you're not hitting right now, and you're costing us at the top of the lineup. We're going to put somebody else in there. I think you approach it a little bit different way. And look, he's a big boy. I mean, this is baseball, right? This happens to even the best of guys. Juan Soto struggles. Judge struggles from time to time. Guys get bounced around in the lineup to benefit the team for whatever reason. So this wouldn't be a total shocker, but I could see it happening tonight.
Ben, if there's a guy, I was going to ask a guy on Little Rock that you'd circle tonight. I'm guessing it's Cano because he's been otherworldly. But if maybe there was someone on either team that you think could tip the scales in this ball game one way or another, someone we're not really thinking about, where do you think that might come from?
If I had to lean on somebody that could really come up with a big blow, Ethan Fry would come to mind for me tonight for LSU. If I'm not going to go Curiel, I love Curiel at the top. I mean, there's not a ton of pop there, but the dude just gets on base, and for a freshman, he's fun to watch here. But I could see Ethan Fry with a really big blow tonight. I mean, you're right. I was going to mention Angel Cano, kid that came in hitting, 213.
Yeah, right.
He's just blowing it up, But listen, Rhodes has been really good for them. Seguin at the top, both on offense and defense. It's a weird team when I look at this team, but I tell you what's been crazy about Little Rock is, man, you go look at the bottom 3 in their lineup, 7, 8, and 9 every night. They have put up monster numbers. And so it's been 1 through 9 for that lineup, and again, playing with house money, but I just feel like, they've done their thing. Not that they're going to be content on where they are, but in the end, the cream tends to rise to the top, and I think LSU's going to rise to the top tonight.
We're looking forward to the shots of the new bridge on the broadcast tonight.
Yeah,
we're looking forward.
I apologize. It's newer than the old bridge is what I always say. So,
We all say it, man. It's the new bridge. It's always been the new bridge.
People on Twitter wearing me out. They're like, Ben is 50-something years old. I said, but it's still newer. It is still newer than the old bridge. It's a new bridge for me.
That is a fact. It is still the new bridge relative to the old bridge. Ben, we appreciate it, man. Have a great call. Thank you.
Anytime. Take care.
All right, be well. The one and only Ben McDonald. We appreciate his time. It's after further review I always love telling you about Supper Club. You can get your reservations at supperclubbtr.com. As a matter of fact, I'll be there tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. Can have dinner with folks from Our Lady of the Lake there tomorrow night. Whether it's a spot that you want to go, for a client dinner, or you're just going to celebrate an amazing accomplishment, a birthday, an anniversary, a graduation, or you're just looking for it just because night. Supper Club's awesome. Now, it'll close on Monday. It'll close Sunday, Monday, but they'll be reopened on Tuesday. I can't wait to tell you more about what Sagrera cut that Chef Layton's going to get in soon. Of course, Sagrera Farms there in Ethel, they give their cows the best life. Actually, Sean sprinkles them with water to keep them comfortable. And at Supper Club, they buy the whole animal. So it's slaughtered and aged, but then they butcher it in-house there at Supper Club. There was actually a time Chef Layton told me the story. There was a patron. They were telling that story. He thought it was just bull. It was just something that they tell. I said, well, come on, grab your cocktails. Come on, come into the kitchen. And they'll do that. They'll walk you into the kitchen. It's spotless and amazing, and so they have no problem doing it. But it's just to underscore that everything about Supper Club is the experience. You can have the best meal. I'm not worried about that. Everything is amazing. You're going to have the best meal ever. But the whole experience of being at Supper Club is why you'll keep going time and time again. It's supperclubbtr.com. Get your reservation. Supperclubbtr.com. All right, thanks to Ben McDonald. We appreciate it. Former Tiger pitcher Ronnie Rantz was here last hour. We'll talk to David Dellucci in 30 minutes from right now. Alden Cartwright will be here next hour as well. Cartwright! We will sacrifice him to the baseball gods to make amends for 2014. When we come back, though, let's head up to Little Rock. Our buddy Wess Moore will be with us. Normally when we're talking to Wes, it's about the Razorbacks, but Wess Moore, who does radio and TV there at Fox 16 in Little Rock, and also is the host of Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Wes will be with us next, talk a little bit about this Trojans baseball team from the UALR perspective when we continue here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Oh, we had a great day on Saturday. My brother, his wife, their kiddos were all in town, and we had a pool day out in the pool. It was awesome. Yesterday, I was doing a little work in the garage, not on my car. I was putting together a sauna, believe it or not, which I guess the irony is I was sweating so bad putting together the sauna, being in the garage on a Saturday in June, that I probably don't need the sauna. But anyway, right after I finished putting together the sauna, I just went and jumped in the pool. Great way to cool off. The point is, having a pool is such an incredible asset, not only to entertain people, just to relax, great for therapy as well. Duplessis Builders can make this dream your reality. Lots of people build beautiful pools. You can go on Instagram and see tons of beautiful companies that build beautiful pools. But do you want something that's going to be done the right way so it lasts? That's the Duplessis difference. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. Get to know Derek, their process. Just start that conversation. DuplessisBuilders.net, or go see their showroom on Airline Highway in Prairieville. DuplessisBuilders.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Malcolm has always been a strike thrower. He started a game as a true freshman at Ole Miss. Malcolm's been on big stages, and again, he's just been through so much in his life. Tonight is not going to speed him up. That's the toughest dude maybe on the team.
That was Chris Curry talking about Malcolm Brown, a guy who ate up 5 1/3 against LSU on Sunday and certainly put Little Rock in a better position otherwise than they would have been going into Monday. Wes Moore, our buddy from Fox 16 up there in Little Rock, also 103.7 The Buzz. Good enough to join us for a couple of minutes. Hey, Wes, how are you, man?
Man, I'm good. Probably shocked that we're doing this interview today.
Yeah.
Did not see this coming.
Give me a gauge on how surprising this is for you seeing this team, day in and day out.
Oof, Matt. It was just the record is so deceiving because of the injury bug. They 6 starters out during the season. Can you imagine? LSU is a deep team. Arkansas is a deep team, but you take 6 starters out, put in 6 other guys, you're going to struggle. And Little Rock, not having the depth of these teams, they're playing whoever they can. And they struggled during the regular season, limped into the tournament, got healthy, and just got on a hot streak. And even though they were playing well, I did not expect them to go to Baton Rouge and win 3 games. No, and it's certainly last night. I thought the score would be about 10-4 last night. But I thought it would be LSU winning 10-4. So it's a very surprising story, even for those of us in Little Rock who covered this team.
So you're in Little Rock. I mean, you cover this team, but you also on a day-to-day cover the University of Arkansas, and obviously people here are much more familiar with Arkansas. Give me some context or a comp, if you would, Wes, on just because we see good mid-major baseball here with Southeastern and ULL, and there's good teams. Give me some context here on Little Rock doing this.
Oh, man. They're a 4 seed. They're a game away from going to a super regional as a 4 seed as a mid-major. There's not many comps out there. Is it Fresno State years ago? Is that it? But
2008.
You can't compare these rosters for Arkansas and Little Rock or Little Rock and LSU. They're totally different. Now, we were talking on the radio show today. How many guys do you think on the LSU roster have some kind of NIL deal?
All of them.
How many do you think have an NIL deal in Little Rock?
I'd be guessing, man. Probably none of them.
I think one of them. And he does a radio show on the Buzz, and he has a little NIL deal through the Buzz. I think that might be it, honestly.
Yeah.
So you can't compare the 2 rosters. You can compare the head coach. I think Chris Curry's a great head coach, and I think he's going to have an opportunity to move on. He's coached under and played under some great players, and he's just a fantastic leader as a man and as a ball club. That would be one comp, but, they're just gritty and they're hot, and that's the scary thing in baseball when you get a team that's hot and they have nothing to lose. No one expects them to win tonight. No one expects them to win last night. They're going up. We had the third baseman on the show today, and he's like, man, we're playing with house money. We're going to the plate, just swinging away, and if we hit it and get a hit, we go on base. If not, we go back to the dugout and cheer everybody on. So that's the way they're going to the plate. That's the way they're pitching. They're out there having fun. They're hot, and they want to see how long this run can continue.
Yeah, Wes, LSU is I'm looking at the line right now at DraftKings. LSU's 5.5 on the run line. I mean, they're minus 1850 on the money line. I mean, so for those who don't know, that means you'd have to bet $1,850 to win $100 if you bet LSU to win the game. So LSU is an overwhelming favorite, but it's baseball, man, and it's a one-game season in baseball where anything can happen. One pitcher can get hot. So let's talk about what Chris Curry is going to do on the mound, or what you expect him to do on the mound. Who do you think? Wes, I don't know what they have left, right? At least as far as rested arms. But what do you think they do to start?
I think, and I have not heard, I think they go with Jack Klein. And he started the second game against Rhode Island. But he only pitched an inning and 2/3, struggled. I bet he was tired because he pitched twice at the OVC tournament. He's the one who started the final game, the championship game, complete game, and won 2-1. I think they go back to him because he only threw 35 pitches Saturday. So Coach Curry said after the game, he had already had every pitcher come up to him and say, I'm good to go tomorrow. I can pitch tomorrow. I'm ready. Give me an inning. Give me 2. I'll give you what I got. And I think that's what you're going to see. I don't think it matters who starts. They're just going to, the game plan last night was to just get guys through one lineup or one time through the lineup. And if that meant, 2 innings and you face 9 guys, then bring somebody else in so that LSU's not getting a second look at the same pitcher. I expect them to do the same tonight unless they catch lightning in a bottle like they did with Malcolm Brown last night. And all of a sudden you get a guy that's able to go 4 or 5 innings. You didn't see that coming, but It worked. I think that's what they do tonight. But my guess, if I'm betting, I say Jack Klein starts. I think you see their game 1 starter. He probably gets in there and pitches an inning or 2, gives them, whatever he can. That's Jackson Wells, who pitched against LSU Friday night. I think he comes back. If you see him, you're going to see a bunch of guys, and they're just going to rotate them in and out and get every out that they can out of these guys.
Is there anybody who is fresh, who fits the bill of someone who could give them length?
I don't think anybody's fresh.
Yeah,
no.
at this point,
No,
right?
no,
I don't even remember his name. Forgive me. Like, you play so many games and there's 4 teams and all these. Like, they mentioned one of the relievers last night. I could pull up the box score. Who's pitched each of the last 3 games. It's like he's just wearing out a path, to the from the bullpen to the mound, because he's pitched in every game, even if it was to a hitter.
Van Cleve, I think. Was it Van Cleve?
Yeah, probably so. The kind of stockier kid. That's a polite way of saying.
Oh, no, the lefty. Yeah. They've got one left-handed pitcher, Hunter Royal. I think he's been in.
Yeah, that's game. It. He's been in every game. It's crazy. Do you think Wes Moore's with us for a couple more minutes here? Fox 16 up there in Little Rock, also 103.7 The Buzz. Look, LSU is likely going to throw Zach Cowan and Kason Evans tonight, and Evans is a stud who throws 98, and Cowan was the Friday night guy at Wofford a year ago, who's a little craftier. Is there one or the other that you think Little Rock would prefer to see, like that they would match up better against one of those guys?
Well, I'll tell you this: they don't see a lot of 98s in the OVC.
Right.
And even midweek games when they're playing Arkansas or Little Rock, or Ole Miss, they're not throwing their weekend guys, so they don't see that a lot. Although Cano, their big hitter last night, he said when they started bringing the heat, we just shortened our swing up and just made contact and just got to go with the fast stroke, and that made sense. But I would say a guy that throws more off speed, Little Rock would be more comfortable with, because that's what they see more often. LSU's got to throw strikes. It's the same. It's as simple as that, Matt. I sat there and watched. It was funny. Arkansas and started their game at 8 o'clock, the same time Little Rock and LSU started. Little Rock was in the 5th inning when Arkansas got done. Arkansas had 20 strikeouts, no walks, and the game was over. And I flipped over and got to watch the rest of that game. And it went on and on. What was it, 11 walks for LSU?
11,
That's the key. Yeah, you can't give them 11 base runners. That's the key. I don't care who's throwing it and how fast he's throwing. Throw strikes.
7 of the 11 scored. That was the difference in the ball game. It'll be fascinating to see. People love this time of year and they love Cinderella stories. I can't imagine there's many people around the country who'll be pulling for LSU, but I know everyone here is just saying, please God, don't let this go the way that it could potentially go for all the reasons. All right, Wes, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for making some time as always.
You bet, man. Can't wait for tonight.
All right, man, be well. That's Wes Moore, Fox 16 up there in Little Rock. Wes is the one who connected us with Chris Curry when we had him on last week, so we appreciate Wes very much. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online, SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. They always have great specials going on. $5,000 customer bonus right now on the all-electric ID4, 0% for 72 months. It's like, is that even a real thing? 6 years, 72 months. That's wild. Go check them out at South Point Volkswagen. They're Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. They move more Volkswagens. They sell more Volkswagens than anyone else. They can give you the best deal. They got the best inventory. So check them out online at SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned. And remember, with their certified pre-owned, it's not just Volkswagens. People come in, trade in their old vehicle to buy a Volkswagen. So they have all different makes and models. You go to the website, hit the used tab right there at the top, and you can search their inventory and see all the used cars that they have at SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review, rolling through a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here, as always. Thanks for being here. David Dellucci will be here in about 15 minutes from right now. Excited to have Luch because we'll talk about what went on around college baseball, in particular with the SEC. Texas is gone. Vanderbilt is gone. Georgia is gone from the tournament already. A lot hasn't played out like we thought it might, so we'll get some perspective on all that from Luch here in about 15 minutes from right now. Knock out a quick break. Musil do Tigers in the Pros. We'll wrap up hour number 2 next.
After Further Review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys. Hey, Tuesday is opening day over for the Baton Rouge Rougarou. Ronnie Rantz was here in hour number 1. Gordon has been a great sponsor of the Baton Rouge Rougarou, and one of the really cool things that Gordon is doing is paying for everybody's tickets for opening night there at the Baton Rouge Rougarou. So if you want to go check out opening night at the Rougarou, go on Tuesday night, Pete Goolsbee Field, 7 o'clock first pitch. It's free admission because Gordon's picking up the tickets for everybody. So, great community partners, great community involvement, as always, great sponsor of the Rougarou. It's Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys. Look, if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for more than 3 years. Get Gordon and get it done. You can start by going to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, or call the 8s. 888-8888, 888-8888. Get Gordon, get it done.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioneer Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
As some of you are wondering, LSU will be the visitor in tonight's ball game with Little Rock. It's coin toss. It's also very stupid. Yeah. I have long held the contention that if you are the higher seed, you should be the home team throughout. There's we could debate the advantages of it, but being able to bat last would stand to always reason that it's the advantage. It's why you're the home team. It's why you played a 56, or in LSU's case, 55-game regular season to earn the right to play at home and to be the national seed. In a winner-take-all regional final, you should be the home team. It is fundamentally absurd that a coin toss, pure chance, determines who's the home team. It's stupid. And if LSU was on the road and was the home team, I would say, look, it happened last year in North Carolina. It's stupid. It's just a stupid thing. The home team, who is the higher seed, should be the home team. But LSU will be the visitor tonight against Little Rock. All right, it's after further review. Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
The Tennessee Titans are bringing in some offensive depth. And that's former LSU running back Ty Davis-Price. He's back again. Ian Rappaport was first on the news. Of course, he's within NFL media. It is a 2-year deal for Ty Davis-Price. 24 years old, was a third-round pick in 2022 of the San Francisco 49ers. Appeared in 6 games as a rookie and ran for 99 yards, but he has appeared in just 2 games since then, spending last season on the Eagles practice squad. He'll fight in a crowded running back room that features Tony Pollard, Tyjae Spears, Micah Bernard, Julius Chestnut, and Khalil Mullins. So we'll keep you updated. Hopefully Ty Davis-Price makes the roster over there in Tennessee.
TDP, let's go.
Has a great career.
TDP, let's go.
Josh Smith.
Kelly High.
Fantastic night for him at the plate. Could have used a little bit more eligibility for him last night, actually. 3 out of 4, drove in 4, hit his 5th home run of the season as well. I should say all 3 of his hits went for extra bases. The homer in the 8th, and then 2 doubles as well for Smith. He's got the average back up around 270 here in 2025. Kevin Gausman was on the bump for the Blue Jays a night ago as well. He got into the 5th inning, gave up 3 earned, struck out 7, got a no decision. Right at the A's, they got the pitch count up pretty quick. 96 pitches for Gausman, but 67 for strikes. So another good outing as he's turned it around kind of after a slower start than we're used to from him. Over the weekend, Angel Reese, near miss on the double-double. 14 points, 9 boards in 32 minutes for the Chicago Sky. Did add 3 steals to go along with the rest of her night. It was a perfect 6 for 6 from the free throw line. That's Tigers in the pros.
Presented by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU. Our Lady of the Lake, transforming healthcare. Yes, clinical excellence. Yes, sports medicine. Yes, student health. All of the above. Breakthrough research, medical education. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. You could learn more about that partnership at ololrmc.com, ololrmc.com/LSU. LSU, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU. Together, we roar. What you may not know, though, is that Our Lady of the Lake is part of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System. This is a multi-state health system of which Our Lady of the Lake is a part. And FMOL is a nonprofit Catholic organization. It is sponsored and run by the sisters, the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady. They serve patients in Louisiana, Mississippi through a variety of hospitals and clinics and physicians and integrated health systems. More than 18,000 employees. The size, scale, scope of the FMOL health system is so impressive as I've gotten to learn even more. But of course, the championship health partner of LSU is one of the things we love to underscore here. The same doctors and nurses and specialists that care for the LSU athletes can offer that same care for you and me. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. It is After Further Review. A lot of people focused on the right things here on the text line. Patrick Pace, for example. Dickinson's got to go back to the blue sleeve. He hit 2 homers in. He wore pink last night.
Look, that is a good point, though, actually. I mean, he did, and they were 2 massive homers into the wind. I mean, look good, play good. I'm a big proponent of it, Scott.
Derek Roussel, Matt, does LSU bust out the gold hats tonight to change things up?
No, nor should they. Horrible look. I did see Jake Brown in the dugout last night with one that didn't have a bill on it anymore. So I think Jake kind of cut the bill off his. So
did it not have a bill or have it backwards?
No, it didn't have a bill because the interlocking LSU was still in the front.
First. Oh,
it was still in the front.
Forward.
Yeah, you know.
Baseball players are weird. And I'm less a believer of look good, play good as I am superstition. And I am not a superstitious person whatsoever. I think stepping on a line of chalk or in what order you eat sunflower seeds or I think all of that is nonsensical and stupid. However, I do believe in psychology. So if in your brain that makes sense and it makes you feel comfortable and at ease, cool. Then I'm with that. I don't actually think that some OCD tendency of like wiping the dirt 3 times before you step up to the plate makes a lick of difference in whether or not you're going to hit the ball. But if that calms you down, that does have a physical manifestation. That I believe in very much. So blue sleeve, pink sleeve, I think it's all stupid. I don't care. Just go out there and hit the baseball. But if it matters to them, then it does matter. So, but no, burn the gold caps. Hour 3 starts off with David Dellucci next.
After Further Review.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. Y'all, summer is here. The kids are out of school. It's family vacation time. You're driving to the beach. You're driving to Disney. You're driving to grandma's house or wherever you may be driving. You want to make sure your vehicle gets you there. So let Shawbills take care of it. Oil change, tire rotation, squeaky brakes, new windshield wipers, check engine light, you name it, they can help with it at Shawbills. And, of course, they're going to treat you like family. It's their promise. It's part of the Charlie's Dozen that Mr. Charlie, made in 1968 when they opened up their doors. The benefits, a dozen benefits extended to you just for being a customer. And, of course, they treat you like family. So they'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. They'll keep you coming back year after year after year because they treat you awesome. It's Shawbills. ShawbillsTire.com, ShawbillsTire.com, Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. He played 100 games, including the playoffs. All of them starts during a 7-year career. Lions center Frank Ragnow announces his retirement. Ragnow says he's tried to convince himself that he's feeling good, but says he is not, and that it's time to prioritize his health. The Pacers and the Thunder prepping for the NBA Finals, a former ABA team, and the former Seattle Supersonics. ESPN's Monica McNutt says the Pacers are undervalued.
I know the debate is common whether or not Tyrese Halliburton has reached star status, and I get that. But whether he has or haven't, Indiana is a sum of their parts. And their parts are young, fast, and connected. And it's just a good, fun brand of basketball.
Monica McNutt on Game Night. Pacers and Thunder, Game 1 Thursday night on ESPN Radio and ABC. At the French Open, Novak Djokovic advances to the quarterfinals. 4 American women played round of 16 matches today. Coco Gauff and Madison Keys both advanced to the quarters in straight sets.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. And now a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right. Woo!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock, quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us as we are 3 hours away from first pitch. LSU and Little Rock for a regional championship. If the Tigers win, they'll move on. They'll host West Virginia in the Supers next weekend at Alex Box Stadium. lose, the season ends, and there are lots of splaining to do as LSU would suffer one of the most historic upsets we can remember in college baseball. David Dellucci, SEC Network, good enough to join us here to talk about all that transpired in a wild weekend. Luch, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Got a lot of butterflies and anxiety flowing. We've got some SEC teams with their backs against the wall. And, you know, one of the things that I hate, because I am an SEC homer. I do work for the SEC Network, but I hate being compared to the ACC. And that's all I hear from my buddies and coworkers is how the ACC is faring better than the SEC in the first round of regional. So it's been a tough couple days for me.
Happens, but you know, there's 4 games tonight. We'll see how today. We'll see how they all play out. North Carolina right now is putting it on Oklahoma 11-3. Speaking of an ACC over SEC, but the big surprises of the weekend, Luch, Vanderbilt, Texas, Georgia. Their seasons are over. Of those, which is the biggest surprise to you?
I would probably say that Georgia is a surprise over me, and it's because Georgia played so well at home. I think their home record was 28-4. Now, I'm not saying that Georgia is the better team of that group, but just what they've been able to do at Foley Field this year has been nothing short of incredible. And they went into the regional leading the NCAA Division I in home runs. I think they had 133, 134 home runs this year. So kind of figured that they're a team that depends on their offense. They depend on the long ball. And here's the thing, like I've noticed this watching them, watching Ole Miss, watching a lot of these teams that are losing at home, is these programs have moved the fences in and they've turned their fields into bandboxes. And that works great until somebody beats you by quote-unquote cheap home runs that were not necessarily earned to get out of the field. And so it's tough. And I think it's something for schools to consider, that it plays great when you're hitting the home runs, but when other teams are hitting those balls that are squeaking out of the ballpark, it could end your season.
We're looking at you, Tennessee and Georgia. I couldn't agree more. Hey, what about Florida bowing out? As I don't know, maybe you, Luch, a lot of us thought Florida had a great chance of winning that regional at Conway.
Yeah, they came in as one of the hottest teams in the country. And I think Florida is very similar to Texas. I think the injuries just caught up to them. And, the Florida were surviving off of players that have stepped up in roles that they didn't expect to be in. And they were missing Colby Shelton. They were missing Cade Curlin. They were missing their leaders. And leaders are most important this time of year when they take the field, when they're in the dugout, and when they're in the clubhouse. They lead by example. They show the other players how you handle yourself, what routines you should go through at this point. And, what a lot of people don't realize is you may have 1 or 2 media members per game in your clubhouse for teams outside of the major market teams like LSU. When it comes down to regionals, you look in there and it's full of media, and you're in the limelight now. A lot of these players, these young players, are not used to that, and that's where the veterans step up. When they're not on the field, it is a game changer, mentally, physically, and I think that caught up to Florida in the regionals. It was a different atmosphere, and there was different pressure than they felt toward the end of the season.
Yeah. Texas and Vanderbilt, I mean, you're talking about 2 of the top seeds in the entire field. Bad weekend, or were there really glaring warts there for those teams?
The Vandy is, we're watching Vandy all year long, knowing that they had a great pitching staff, but wondering if they were going to have the offense that could score runs in bunches. And toward the end, they had 3 consecutive walk-off wins at home. They win the SEC tournament. They hit a couple home runs, won some games that way, and you kind of expected that the trend was going to follow into the regionals, and it didn't. So the offense kind of went back to what we saw for the first half of the season. And, man, I tell you, my heart broke for R.J. Austin. Is one of the more talented players on the Vanderbilt team. He has felt like he's carried the whole team on his shoulder. He's put so much pressure on himself. He went 8 games without a hit. R.J. Austin is a potential big leaguer. He came down to his last at bat with the bases loaded, and Vanderbilt was going to make one of their miraculous comebacks, and he hit a lazy fly ball to right center field to end their season. I just feel so bad for the individuals. We forget there's a human aspect in all of this. These guys are not robots, and that was just a tough way to end it. But no offense, and I know pitching carries you, and everybody talks about pitching wins ball games, but if you can't score runs, you're not going to win.
You know, Luch, both Tim Corbin and Kevin O'Sullivan had ugly moments this weekend. We talked about it in the first hour. I don't know to what degree you're comfortable talking about either of those. O'Sullivan and Scott Strickland today both on social media issued an apology. Any thoughts just about those outbursts in the context?
I'm surprised. Corbs is not a coach that takes losses very well, and as a member of the media, I've seen it, and you know it's coming after a loss. And both of those coaches respect the media, and both of those coaches know that it's the media's job to ask tough questions. Was I surprised that it was an outburst? No. Some of the comments, though, were a little uncharacteristic of both of those coaches and what they stand for. And, Matt, there's been several times during the course of this year, I've watched baseball games and I've watched individual players and questioned if we're fixing to have some comments about our sport the way Nick Saban talked about football, because it's a different era in college athletics. And I wonder how many of these coaches' frustrations build off of issues that are between the teams and individuals that are different than what it was 5, 10, 15 years ago. It's tough, man. It's tough. But winning is hard to take, no matter who you are, how many years you have in it. But when you go down as the number 1 seed, I can totally understand why Corbs would be frustrated. I'd like to give them a pass on the weekend because they're better than what they displayed.
Yeah. They're held to a higher standard, and bad moments for both of them, but well said. All right, David Dellucci is with us. There are, as you mentioned, 4 games involving SEC schools today, Luch. We can go through these. Oklahoma's getting blasted right now in the 9th by North Carolina, 11-3. They're just underway in Oxford, Ole Miss and Murray State for that regional championship. Same top of the first in Knoxville with Wake and Tennessee. Thoughts on those two in order, maybe?
Concerned about actually both of those, and if there was a team that Murray State surprises me like crazy. If there was a team that I would say in that bunch that can upseat one of those SEC teams, not as you said, now North Carolina, that game's pretty much over.
Yeah.
But Wake Forest, if they throw strikes, they can put it on Tennessee. That's been their issue all year long is free passes. And so that's the one that I'm going to keep my eye on. Ole Miss should beat Murray State on paper. I'm shocked that Murray State is still in there because I thought Georgia Tech was going to be the team that was going to give the host team, Ole Miss, the most trouble. And it all boils down to today, whether it's Ole Miss, Tennessee, or even LSU, this is an offensive day. And if your offense shows up, you're most likely going to face either pitchers that have been used up in the regional or pitchers that they're asking to do things in situations that they haven't done nor feel comfortable for. Ole Miss has a better offense than Murray State, Tennessee, and Wake Forest. I would think that they step up, and I would think that they score a ton of runs to move on to the Super Regional.
Okay.
And we'll see about Tennessee, man. The base on balls got them. That's what put them in the situation that they're in now, and they're going to have to clean up. Very similar to what LSU did.
Yeah.
The free passes come back to haunt you in the regionals and super regionals.
Last thing, Luch, what do you think about LSU tonight against Little Rock?
I think same thing. I look, if LSU wants to, and I picked LSU to win the College World Series, if they want to do it, the offense had better step up, and tonight is the night. They are going to rely heavily on the offense, and hopefully it will kickstart them into the Super Regional. But if they can't score runs, they're going to be in trouble.
He is David Dellucci, SEC Network. Good enough to join us here Mondays. Luch, next Monday we'll be previewing Supers, man. Looking forward to it. Thanks as always. Or I guess next Monday we'll be recapping Supers. Man,
that's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Here we go. Luch, good time of year, man. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Be well. That's David Dellucci. It's After Further Review. Monday shows brought to you by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. They do shutters as well, but their number one product is customer service. Learn more at reliefwindows.com. Reliefwindows.com. Quick break. Alden Cartwright will join us. Cartwright? As we will offer him to the baseball gods. We will try to make amends for his transgressions in 2014 so that those transgressions need not be laid upon this LSU baseball team. It's next, AFR.
AFR.
If you watch the show, you probably notice I've lost a bunch of weight over the last year, and I get asked all the time, "And you look great. What are you doing?" There's a lot that go into a whole health protocol. Eating better obviously makes a huge difference, but also taking care of myself internally matters. We talk all the time about Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, and yes, you can laugh at the name and the funny logo, and yes, they do ED treatments, but they do so much more than that. Hormone replacement therapy is a huge part of what they do. Men, as we age, our bodies produce less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. Testosterone therapy can be an amazing part of your health, heart health, prostate health, mental clarity, energy levels, libido, all of that. Simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate. They also offer BPC 157, NAD+, which is cellular optimization. Learn more. Live your best life. YourGoodwood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Baton Rouge is home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
After Further Review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
A lot of people have asked if LSU were to lose tonight, where would that fall historically as far as upsets or embarrassing losses, worse this or that. Look, LSU's had a lot of postseason success. But, you win as much as LSU has, and you have enough opportunities in the postseason, there's going to be bad ones. Stony Brook and Coastal often come to mind because you lost home super regionals in those years. There's years you've lost home regionals. In 2005 against Rice. 2014 is one, though, that always sticks out because you lost a home regional where you were in the driver's seat. You blew a save on the Sunday night, which would have advanced you. And then you came back the next day on Monday and you lost 12-2 to Houston in a game that wasn't really competitive. But that Houston team was the number 2 seed in the regional. This team you're facing tonight here in Little Rock is the 4 seed in your regional. So this would feel dramatically different to lose a home regional to the lowest RPI team in the entire field of 64. Well, that 2014 regional that LSU lost to Houston, it was our buddy Alden Cartwright who took the ball on that Monday. Guaranteed him a win. I believe old Cartwright faced 4 hitters, didn't record any outs, and exited, and Tigers got pummeled. So we bring Cartwright on here to offer him as a sacrifice, a peace offering to the baseball gods. How are you, dude?
Good, man. That was peak of my career, brother. Hey, I was out there, It just rear back and throw it, to see what happens. It's just really good.
Did we plunk the first guy? Do I remember that correctly?
I have replayed this memory so many times in my career, and it was painful at first, man. It really was, because that was a wild event. But I remember it like it was yesterday. It was 92 out, 92 in. Hey, and I don't even throw 92. That was even wild. And then AD called a fastball back in, and I had a curveball gripped, and it kind of shook me, and I threw it, and it grazed the guy's shirt. And then I couldn't even throw it below the catcher's helmet. I let the whole environment take me over, and hey, even Alex Box can get the best of him, even the Tigers.
So maybe like you had kind of the yips where you just lost it. You lost the field.
Kinda. That's generous of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
there's no doubt about it.
No, it's just interesting how it goes. When you think back about that, and I mean I appreciate the levity, and I mean you and I have been friends for a long time, so no, you don't mind talking about it. But
not all.
When you think back like to the comments, guaranteeing a win, do you think that was that in your awareness when you were on the mound at all?
Not at all. I actually did not even realize it until we actually lost. And Maneri was extremely angry. The next day, there was even a newspaper that says "Cartwright hits ball guarantees win."
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, what do you mean? I was like, wow, that's unfortunate. That didn't go well.
Yeah.
But
do you remember saying that?
No, I actually, I still to this day would love to see it. Michael Cobble, find it. I know you were there. Dellinger, Delly, you were there. I remember it very clearly. I was talking to reporters on the kind of towards down the first baseline, and they kind of pulled me over, and they were kind of attacking. Kind of like, "Hey, man, your backs are against the wall. You're a freshman going out there. Do y'all even think y'all have a chance?" Or at least that's how I heard it. And dude, I was angry. I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? Do we have a chance? This is Houston on the other side. Like." We're LSU. Like, of course we have a chance. We have the best bats in the country. I can promise you we're going to win that game. I'm not even worried. Like, that's what came out of me. That's what I felt. That's what I portrayed. But Cartwright gets ball, guarantees win. 3 batters. I don't even know if it was 4 batters.
No.
You may remember better than me because you see it. But, dude, the amount of hate that I got after that game, I had to delete social media. I went straight to Battle Creek, Michigan, went into a dark hole. You should transfer. Dude, LSU faithful is beautiful. I love that they did that, right? Because it was brutal. You can't go out there and do that. It's a standard of excellence. You can't grab the ball and be the most confident dude in the world and not throw a strike after throwing 2 strikes to 3 straight batters in a row. Like, you can't do that. LSU deserves better.
Is I kind of joked as like making this a peace offering to the baseball gods.
We should. I guarantee Little Rock's going to win a game. I call them Little Pebbles. You know, I have referred to them every day since I've seen them in the regional. Little Pebbles. When I found out Ianson was throwing Friday, I was like, "What are we doing? It's Little Pebbles. Go out there and beat them."
You see, Cartwright, I think we were going good there, and we were going to appease the baseball gods, and now you're calling them Little Pebbles, and I think you're just pissing them off again.
No, I pushed it away. They've gained their respect. They showed little. They're like, I don't care if I'm a Little Pebble or not. I don't care if you're throwing 101. It does not matter. I'm going to hit it. They're not afraid at all. Those dudes are not afraid at all.
What do you see when you look at this LSU team?
I've always been careful on this show, Matt, for a long time. But I've said probably since April that I've felt that the bullpen has been an issue.
Sure.
When you look at the roster from what I've typically seen and known, and I've been in it because I did hear on TV that they have the best ERA since what year, Matt? What year was that?
Ever?
2015, I think they compared it to.
Well, 15 had. That was Lang. It was freshman Lang in 15. Boy, it was
a good year.
15,
it was a good year.
Right? I know. I would say 13 and 15 were the best teams no one will ever remember because of the failures in Omaha. But those two teams were so dominant. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. 15, that was an unbelievable year. We never lost 2 games in a row. Never had a losing streak. It was unbelievable. We beat ourselves in Omaha. It was wild. Anyways, but if you look back at those teams, and even the teams we had recently, typically you have 5 to 7 relievers that are all covered in this area of time between 20 and 30 innings. Like I'm talking, not your closer, not your, like you've got 5 to 7 dudes that fit in that category. And great, we've got an unbelievable ERA. But that's on the back of how many people, Matt? 5 or 6?
Yeah. Obviously, Anderson, Ianson, Cowan, Evans have been good for you all year. And periodically you've seen good outings from Newt and Shores. You've identified the short list of guys you feel like you can count on.
Right, but you have a massive piece of that bullpen that you see kind of randomly that's thrown like 3 or 4 or 5 innings all year and come out and throw 97. I'm like, what is that? Well, I don't even know if we ever really had guys throwing 97 when I pitched. Like, we just had guys that threw 88 to 92, threw strikes, threw 3/5 for strikes, got hitters out. Hitting's hard. And this team, there's no secret. They beat themselves last night. Now, don't get me wrong. Little Rock made LSU pay for it, and they played their game of baseball and beat the Tigers. But 11 walks for a game to go to Omaha. Look, I've never been talk. I walked 3 people in a row like it's baseball. But it's like that's just we lost 12-2. But Houston was like 48 and something. I even underestimated them then. I went back looking at record. They were good. And so, but it's just not a recipe for success. You leave bases loaded twice with. It's just not going to work. If you walk hitters, they're going to score, especially in the postseason. Doesn't matter how good. That's what I love about baseball. Does not matter how many wins that team has going into that night. It just matters tonight.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's why it's also a terrifying game. But it's the beauty of the game. It's the only game that's truly a game of failure. Like it is. You have to be very comfortable failing because you're going to fail. Yeah. Not in the macro like the win-loss record, but you're going to fail more than you succeed in baseball.
No doubt. And so the holes I've seen is you don't have, and that's what you're running into tonight. Who do you start and who do you go to next? And you're in game 4. That's not an issue in game 4 when you have a developed 10. I don't know if it's from talent. I don't think it's talent. They're really talented. And then you have a lineup, really good lineup, but how many hitters are you actually afraid of in that lineup? And so you both have to be really good. And they've been extremely good. That's what's frustrating about this team. They could beat anyone in the country on any given night, and they can go win in Omaha. But if they lose, they're going to beat themselves.
Yeah. So how would you as a pitcher attack I'm curious. Then how would you, if there's nobody that you fear, How would you attack LSU's lineup if you were pitching?
Get ahead very quickly. If you get ahead of these hitters, Bear Jones is a great example. If you're ahead of them, you've got a way better chance of getting that dude out than not. The only hitter that's truly, like, I don't really want to throw to him is Curiel. It doesn't matter what you do to that guy. He's just like this weird, kind of looks like a little ninja in the box, like kind of, you're like, what are you doing? Like, why do you look like a ninja?
Even with like the stance and the back kind of forward a little bit, it is a little unorthodox. It's like he's holding a samurai sword, like he's ready to slice the baseball in half.
It's like Ichiro Suzuki. It's like, you're not getting that guy out either. Like, he's not going to hit you all over, but you just do it. So it's just, can they beat you? Absolutely. You got studs all over. I've always been frustrated that Pearson's not in the lineup. That dude, he's what we classify as a gamer. Like, he's just a spark. Finds his way on base. And these hitters, you just go straight at them. They all, but if you fall behind, they will make you pay. Jay is an unbelievable offensive mind, and they find a way to manufacture runs. Even if they're not hitting you all over the field, they're going to bunt. They're going to bunt and run. They're going to run on you. They're going to do all these things. You got to stay ahead. But that's the case with any baseball team in America, Matt. If I was not special at LSU, I sucked, dude, and I pitched at LSU. I sat 88 to 90 on a good day. I didn't hit 90 till I got to LSU.
Yeah.
Maneri looked me at the end of my freshman year and said, Alden, I don't want you to take this very negatively at the end of my freshman year. You had a great year. I expected to cut you after the first week. I did a favor to Baton Rouge in taking you. You just believe you're better than everyone, and it worked. I'm like, oh, well, what else you got to lose? Just go out there and sling it.
Yeah. Today will be an interesting day. All right, hang on. Cobble just posted this on Twitter. I don't know if this is the video, the infamous game. He said, I don't have a guarantee, but I did find this. All right, so let's play. This is 23 seconds. You got it, Muse? I hope Cobble went stereo on this. Let's see.
We're not worried.
He went mono.
We still have all the confidence in the world. We have more pitching than they do, and our hitters are on fire. We just didn't catch lucky breaks tonight, and they did. We're already looking forward.
All right, that was the only part of it that they had. And
see?
Huh?
Out of context, I was confident, but a little arrogant, confident,
And
what you want me to say we're going to lose?
And dang it, Cobble, if you keep posting videos, and you too, Jacques, and all you TV guys, stop posting video in mono. Post it in stereo. It's not hard. It's both channels, so it's not just one ear. Because if you post it in mono and we play it, then everyone listening on the stream doesn't hear it. Come on, TV guy. What's wrong with you, TV guys? It ain't hard.
Step up.
Stereo, not mono. What's hard, TV guys? Why is this hard for you, TV guys? Yeah.
Man, you know what's funny about that
TV guys?
After that happened?
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to talk to media.
Ever?
It wasn't until I really came out of my shell again, like my sophomore year. I ran a really good run at the beginning of my sophomore year. I wasn't allowed to talk to media at all. And I was actually used as the example in every media training going forward of what you don't do.
I would really hope tonight is not a repeat of 2014.
It won't be.
You said it won't be?
No.
Why?
It's LSU.
He's doing it
again. If they beat themselves.
Yes, he's doing it again.
No, no, I'm not. I'm not guaranteeing a win. They will lose if they show up like they did last night.
Okay.
And it will suck. And it will be unbelievable in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
The Tiger crazies will come out, and we'll have to limp to football season so people stop talking about it.
Yeah.
But if they go out there, they are an unbelievable offense early on. Unbelievable. They score a lot of runs early. And if you can get one of those guys, they've got two guys that are Cowan and Evans? What was the,
yeah.
Those two, I think I wanted to start Cowan. What's the one that he's got 10 walks, 54 innings?
Cowan is the...
They're very identical.
What's that?
Stats-wise, they're kind of identical, but one of them has 54 innings and 10 walks.
So I would guess that's Cowan. Yeah, and he's change-up pitcher from Wofford, the transfer. Evans is the dude who throws 98, the freshman.
Well, that also plays that people look. No disrespect to Little Rock, but look when Shores went out there, they can't hit 101. They can, but it's going to take a little while to get used to it. They haven't seen it.
The defensive swing by the one kid against the 100, where it's like, oh, we're gonna just wait.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it was not great. Anyway.
But here's the issue, Matt. When you've got that going out there, and you've got seriously, I mean, it's like velo junkies out there, the 101 and pulling it. What good does that do? Like throw 98, 95, right down the middle. Let them hit it. Like. It doesn't work. Any level of baseball you've ever seen it, if it doesn't matter how hard you throw. If you're behind and then you're over the plate, it gets hit. You walk the bases loaded, the best guy, you leave the ball, you get clear the bases. It's a story all the time. You get ahead. That's why I like the Cohen kid. 10 walks and 54 innings, Walford transfer, gritty, seasoned guy. Let him ride. You're going to have a heroic performance out of someone tonight if they win.
I would just like to see him go score like 26 runs. And
be done with it. Who cares about pitching at that point?
Yeah, exactly. That would be great.
Exactly.
Alden Cartwright, former Tiger pitcher. Cartwright. All around good guy. No guarantees today.
None at all.
None.
Guarantee there will be some form of baseball tonight or tomorrow. At some point, they will get this game in.
Bite your tongue if you talk about any type of delay. I tell you what, if that happens and you manifest that somehow like locusts on the field or something.
I can't wait for you to drink more bourbon. I can't wait for you to drink more bourbon. What, tequila with some lime? Bro, you got cigars, you'll be fine.
Maybe. No. I had a few last night. Tonight, no. Tonight is water, and we're going to get in bed hopefully at a reasonable hour, and this isn't going to be a 4-hour game, and we'll go about the rest of our week. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, Alden. Thank you for the time. Great to chat.
Thanks, Matt. Always. Appreciate you.
See you, man. That's Alden Cartwright.
Cartwright.
It's After Further Review, brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Hey, look, you're not going to cook tonight because you're nervous. Going home to watch the game, pop on into Rouse's, get dinner for the whole family. You get something different for everyone if you want. I mean, just walk on in. They've got their Asian bowls, which I love. Like, I love the teriyaki beef and chicken rice bowl. It's awesome. They had sushi, hand-rolled fresh every single day. They got the salad bar. They've got the hot and boiled kiosk. You want to get boiled shrimp, boiled crawfish, and get it right there. I mean, you get something different for everybody. It's amazing. It's at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Get to the website, hit the weekly ad right there. You see all the deals that they got. And when you go do your grocery shopping, make sure you take advantage of all the great deals that they have. It's Rouse's, voted the best supermarket in the entire Gulf South. Walk in, you'll understand why. Rouse's, this feels like home. Okay, it's After Further Review, y'all. Get a final look on LSU and Little Rock here when we come back. Final little preview for tonight's ball game. We will have Jimmy here in about 12 minutes for Otter Locks. Still a lot to do as we come on down the home stretch, and glad you're hanging out with us here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. What a great time to get on out into the yard, into the garden, and just plant something. Spring is gone. Summer is here. You want to beautify your outdoor area, you can do it. Flowers for the patio pots, your flower beds. Maybe you need some privacy shrubs. Maybe you want trees. Great selection over there at Clegg's, and the best people as well. If you're not sure what to plant, like sometimes there's flowers that need a lot of sun, and they're going to thrive in those conditions. Maybe you want something that doesn't need a ton of TLC because you're not in your garden every single day. They'll know what to plant where. Like I always suggest, take a picture of your outdoor space. If you're not sure, take a picture, and they'll make great suggestions based on sunlight and location, and if you want pops of color or greenery, whatever it is, they got it at Clegg's Nursery. They got the best people. So any of the 4 locations, buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's not just a game. It's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Feeling out all 4 pitches and executing one pitch at a time, not letting the last pitch affect the next pitch, and just staying within my plan.
Boy, if only it were that easy. That was Cooper Williams after his outing. 3 2/3 that he gave LSU. 3 2/3 of shutout baseball. Struck out 4, walked just 1. He allowed 3 hits. He was really good. I mean, Cooper Williams gave LSU an opportunity to stay in that ball game, and he did throw 52 pitches. I bring that up because as you look at who is available for LSU in this ball game tonight, as we're here about 2 hours and 20 minutes away from first pitch, I mean, it really is everybody save Cade Anderson on one-day rest is probably not going to be available. After throwing Saturday, having a day of rest on Sunday, I can't imagine that going 106 pitches that you're going to put him out there for anything today. Anthony Ianson, if this, say, the third day were a bullpen day for him, I could see Anthony Ianson giving you something. 15 pitches, pitch to a batter. You know, you want to run him out there to pitch the 9th in a 4-3 game. I could see that for Ianson. You get him fired up to go out there and give you something. I don't think it would be as electric as it always is whenever he's on full rest. But then you also look and say, well, that could affect you in the Super Regional round if you get there, but you got to get there. But Anderson, I can't imagine throwing tonight. And after throwing 52 pitches last night, it's hard to imagine seeing Cooper Williams out there. But as you've heard both coaches say, it's an all-hands-on-deck approach in this ballgame. You're not saving anyone or anything for the future if you don't win in this ballgame. So you got to find a way to advance, and then you figure it out after that. But, you know, all that to say, you know, Jaden Newt threw 50 pitches. Chase Shores threw 39. You know, Jay alluded to Shores being available in this game, even if it's to throw to a hitter. So maybe you'd look at someone like Williams or Newt available to throw to a hitter. Like maybe you need Cooper Williams to go get you a left-on-left matchup. And that's kind of how you have to approach this. But a best-case scenario is if, in fact, they do give the ball, and here at 5:42, the lineup hasn't been posted yet, and I haven't gotten word yet of what they're going to do in this ball game. I think, like most everybody does, it is most likely going to be Evans, Cowan. I can't imagine it would be anyone other than one of those two. And I expect both of them to pitch. It's just a matter of in what order they would go. Because we've seen Kason Evans start 3 times, that would be my guess. But he started 3 consecutive weekends in conference play and then hasn't gone back into that starter role. We have not seen Zach Cowan start at all this year, although we know he is capable because he was the Friday night guy at Wofford a year ago. So I'm not exactly sure what Jay's going to elect to do because Jay at times will do unconventional things, and we've seen him do it. I mentioned earlier in the show, the championship game against Florida 2 years ago, Cade Beloso led off the championship game. The day after they lost was 24-4. They took Dylan Cruz out of the leadoff spot and put Cade Beloso there for the first time in his career, and it worked. So ultimately, you're a better team. You're a more talented team. You're a heavy favorite in this game, and it's a very uncomfortable position going into, but that's also one of the great things about baseball is where when you get into playoff baseball and you live and die emotionally on every pitch. That's the kind of atmosphere that there's going to be tonight. And I don't know that the box yet has swallowed up Little Rock, and maybe it won't. Like maybe they're fully ready for 13,000 people screaming in a winner-take-all type scenario. They've faced elimination now 3 times in this tournament, and they've won 3 games. And so congrats to them on that. So maybe this doesn't feel any different for them tonight. But for LSU, it should also be a very comfortable setting. You've played 30 SEC games. You've played in front of packed crowds with a lot on the line all season. But this is where legacies are made at LSU. It's not about what you do in the regular season. Cartwright was here with us, and we talked about it. Like, he mentioned the 2015 team and their great ERA. Nobody remembers that. Nobody's going to remember 2013 or 2015. It's not. Talk all the time. I was asked, is it the worst loss or biggest upset? And I think, those are different questions. Like to me, when I think about LSU baseball postseason, the worst was 1998. Because you were on the brink of going back to back to back. You won the national championship in 96. You won it in 97. And then in 1998, it was the height of Gorilla Ball. You hit 9 homers in the opening game against USC. It was 8 or 9. I can't remember. But you're bludgeoning the baseball. You start 2-0. You're in the winner's bracket game. USC has to come out of the loser's bracket to beat you twice. And the weather got cold in Omaha. The wind started blowing in at Rosenblatt. And the offense went into a deep freeze, if you'll forgive the pun. And LSU lost in consecutive days. And then USC went on to beat Arizona State 21-14 to win the national championship. Like, LSU would have gone back to back to back. And, I mean, that's one that got away. I think anybody would tell you that's one that got away. Eddie Furness was a senior on that team. That was Trey McClure and Brad Cressy, and they were awesome in 98. And that's one that got away. But you think about the disappointments, like the upsets, Stony Brook, Coastal, Houston, those are right there. Rice in 2005 winning the Baton Rouge Regional and not advancing out of your home regional. But this to a 4 seed, when you were in the winner's bracket, you lose on consecutive nights to a 4 seed that is the lowest RPI team in the field. This would, I think, be perched right at the top of the biggest upsets in the history of the program, the most inexplicable if they aren't able to get it. Now, I think they will. I do think LSU wins tonight. I don't think – I know. Little Rock doesn't have anything like what LSU is going to throw in Kason Evans and Zach Cowan, and those guys are rested. The one thing I should have asked Ben McDonald that I didn't, and shame on me, and I intended to and I forgot to, was in a situation like this with Evans and Cowan having not thrown in 2 weeks, is it a benefit that they're rested, or is it a detriment that they're rusty? And I suspect we'll find out pretty quickly with whichever one gets the ball. So 8 o'clock first pitch tonight, ESPN2 winner on to the Super Regionals. Of course, if LSU does win tonight, they'll host West Virginia next week in the Super Regional round at the box. All right, y'all, we're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. Remember, speaking of Ben McDonald, Ben's is a spokesman for First South Farm Credit. You know, Ben bought his hunting property in Mississippi, and when he did, he financed land with First South Farm Credit. So I always say, if it's good enough for the first pick of the MLB draft, it's good enough for you and me as well to call First South Farm Credit. Make your first call to First South Farm Credit. Or you can log on to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. They can help you buy land in any of the lower 48. And, of course, if it's 20 acres to build your family's dream home, 1,000 acres for agriculture, you want a couple hundred acres for that hunting property, that recreational property, maybe it's an investment property, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. Okay, y'all, it is after further review. We'll knock out our final break. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks, find out what we're betting on tonight, see if he's got a play on the baseball. And as we're inching closer to the NBA Finals as well, Otter Locks next on AFR.
AFR.
Remember, I hope this is not the last game at Alec Box for the year. But our friends over at Action Industries and the Advanced Turnaround Group have been a proud partner of LSU Athletics, and they do sponsor the mound visits all throughout the year. And Lord knows tonight there might be a lot of them. But all throughout the year, whenever you see a coach head out to the mound, those mound visits are brought to you by Action Industries. They are a proud partner of LSU Athletics. They're Baton Rouge, born, raised, bred for more than 40 years now, since 1982, servicing the petrochemical refinery markets. They do work inside the fence, and you know you don't get hired inside the fence if you don't have an exemplary safety record, which they do. And for an industry where you rely on repeat business, you have got to do exceptional quality work to get hired over and over again, which, of course, they do. It's why they've been around for 43 years. It's Action Industries. Remember, the Advanced Turnaround Group is their turnaround division. You can learn more at actionindinc.com for Action Industries.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, Ice Cubes.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Further Review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, door, siding. They do shutters as well. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Doing good, Matt. Mixed reviews in our early games that we put out on the website. We've got Wake Forest plus 220 is up 2-0, but the Ole Miss Rebels, 5-0 in the top of the third inning. So, man, I mean, 3 balls, 4-run inning earlier for 4-run second for the Murray State Racers, and 3 balls hit to the right side where the pitcher didn't cover. Furness went too far off. Then they found them both in between. It was like, you practice those balls to the right side, Coach.
I just hate to see Ole Miss losing. Hate to see Ole Miss losing a home regional in Murray State. I'm devastated.
Saving a lot of beer. Saving a lot of beer in right field. So anyway, hey, but for the tournament, record amount of underdogs hitting. Some massive ones. Little Rock was 7.5-run underdog in both games yesterday. Not just the LSU game, but the Dallas Baptist game as well. We know about the first and second seed overall, if not made it to the Super Regional round. Sure, you've gone through all that, but a lot of 11, 19, and 2. There were 2 pick'ems, but 11 of the 30 games in the first round, including a handful of $2 dogs. Be bigger dogs than that. Were hit. So we got we're going with tonight. We're going with Southern Miss, local product. Cam Sundstrom from New High, true freshman, gave them 5 innings last night to close it out. So they are in pretty good shape with their pitching. So we like them to take care of business against Miami. Coming back in that one, and 8 o'clock to start. It'll be wild in Hattiesburg as well at the Pete. And then a couple of games in Major League Baseball. The A's, they have had a rough night, but they are at home, and Severino has been pretty good. We like the matchup. They're plus 40 at home, and then the New York Mets plus 36 at Chevelle Ravine tonight.
A's, Mets, and Southern Miss. You can get it at LouisianaSports.net. Where are you tomorrow?
We're Mike Anderson on Lee.
All right, Otter. Thanks. Good luck.
All right, good luck.
All right, Muse Pauly, thanks. Y'all have a great night. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry over at Lee Michaels. We always encourage you to thrill her with a gift in the red box, gents. But, ladies, Father's Day, we're a couple of weeks away. You could thrill him with a gift in the red box. As a matter of fact, they have a whole Father's Day section on the website. If you go to the website, you see on the scroll, it's Father's Day gift ideas. Just click right there. Boom. All different price points, whatever your budget is. They have great Father's Day gifts over at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Maybe it's wedding season. You need to buy your wedding band. Lee Michaels can sell you your wedding band, his or hers. Maybe you've got an anniversary coming up and you want to upgrade that diamond ring that you gave to her when you proposed. Lee Michaels can help you do that as well. Trade in that old diamond for an upgrade. It's Lee Michaels, LMFJ.com. 9 locations in all, and always online at LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.